What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mike and Ant Sports Talk. We're gonna be going through, a hell of a slate of games that we've seen today for Sunday. A lot of spectacular comebacks. We had some blowouts. We had some very unexpected games. But before all that, how's your day going, bro?
My day's pretty good. The Rams won. I
Yeah,
do want to start off the show though by saying, rest in peace to Doug Martin who passed away today.
yeah. Rest in peace to Muscle
Yeah,
Hand
he's
Packers.
only 36 years old too, young.
Yeah. Did you see what happened? Or because I didn't see anything. It just
I didn't see what happened. I just got the notification that he died.
yeah, that's crazy. I think he was like 30. What was he like 37?
They said he was like 36.
36 years old. That's crazy. But rest in peace to Doug Martin for sure. He was a stud on the field, but I mean,
Yeah, for the Buccaneers back in the day.
yeah, died way too early. That's
Pocket
unfortunate.
Hercules they called him.
Yeah. Well, my prayers definitely go out to his family for sure.
Yes.
Now, as for your day, same thing as me. The Rams started off, smacked the Jaguars out of London. So much for thinking that their travel plans were wrong. Maybe they need to fly to London every week to play. Um,
Hey, I think other teams are gonna start copying McVay and be like, instead of spending the whole week in London, just fly the day before.
yeah, I think if you adjust your schedule and the flights don't bother you, I don't think it really matters um, when you go there. As for the game, um, before we dive into the game, and I'm gonna have you obviously run over the numbers, score, stats, all that good stuff. One thing that I noticed, and this ain't the first time I noticed this, I've said it before. I could go back and find the tweets, right?
Mhm.
Uh, Matthew Stafford has severe tunnel vision. He just always has. That's one of the main. And don't get me wrong, because I know if your first read is open, you essentially supposed to throw it every time for the most part. But I explain to what I mean, right? When Stafford had Calvin Johnson, you look at the targets that Calvin Johnson was getting versus all the other guys combined, right?
Well, yeah, he eyeballed Johnson so much that people thought that there was no other receiver other than Johnson, but they had some receivers. The Golden Tate was pretty solid.
Yeah,
Nate Burleson was pretty solid.
Mob Jones.
Yeah,
Um,
too.
they had, yeah, they
No,
had, yeah, they had some guys. But the truth is, just it's basically between the other six guys, you're gonna split the amount of targets that Calvin Johnson got. It just was always like that, right?
yeah,
Now, um, he got to the Rams. You did that with Cooper Cup, right? Now he does that with Puka. It's like almost like it's his downfall. And I'll tell you what I mean. You take Puka out the equation, he has no favorites now. He looks so much better. He's spreading the ball around. He's looking more. He's no longer just Puka, throw Puka, 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 Puka. You see what I'm saying? He's looking around like all it. Puka got misses one game, and both of our rookies scored touchdowns.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, Sean McVay got to trade Tutu, man. He just can't figure out a way to get the kid involved. And this isn't Tutu's problem. I don't want to hear that he does things for the team. Bro, he wants the ball. You know what I'm saying? And there's no reason why he should be leaving these games with no catches. He got like less than 5 catches on the year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
but I think to your point though, is it so much McVay's play calling, or is it the fact that Stafford has tunnel vision?
the tunnel vision plays a part. But Tutu he's losing snaps to everybody. Like look in the games. Like
Yeah, it's true.
everybody. It's not just one person that's taking snaps from him. It's everybody. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem that I see, and the tunnel vision obviously plays into it. But if he was the third receiver and he was getting his reps, I'm sure Stafford would be finding him a few times. It's just like he's on the field once every 3-4 downs. It's like Stafford probably don't even know when he's out there half the time.
Yeah, we use him mostly as a returner.
Man, I don't know. I'm just little disturbed. I think it's time to let Tutu go and see what somebody else could do with him. I
and
mean,
see what we can get for him.
yeah, because it's McVay's never gonna get that right. You know what I'm saying he's just not gonna. Like, I mean, I if I'm the Chiefs, I want to see what I could do over there and throwing him in the slot, because they know how to work with undersized receivers, but the Rams got to
Yeah,
give up on him,
yeah.
and it's not him.
Chiefs, though, I mean, he's very similar to what they got with Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, yeah, except the age, he's so much younger. You know what I'm saying? So the thing the thing with it is I love Tutu. I think he could be great. It's just Sean McVay doesn't know how to use him. So I think it's time to see what you could get from him. But as for the game, let's dive right in, bro.
All right, so we'll start off with the first game of the day.
Yeah.
We have the LA Rams versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. And this game was a complete blowout. It was 35-7. The game was pretty much over at half. It was 21-0 at the half. The Jags did score two touchdowns in the second. I mean, one touchdown in the fourth quarter. But other than that, it was just domination by the Rams. Matt Stafford had a pretty decent game. He completed 21 to 33 passes, only threw for 182 yards, but he did have a career high five touchdown passes. Kyron Williams led the team rushing. Actually, Kyron Williams and Blake Corum split the carries. They had 12 each. Kyron had 12 carries, 54 yards. Blake Corum had 12 carries, 37 yards. So out of the 29 carries, they split 24 of them, 12-12. Receiving wise, Devontae Adams was our leading receiver. He had five catches for 35 yards and three touchdowns. On the Jacksonville side of the ball, Trevor Lawrence completed 23 of 48 passes, which is less than 50%. He
Terrible.
did pass for 296 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions, but he was sacked seven times in this game. Travis Etienne was their leading rusher. He only had eight carries for 44 yards, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were down most of the game.
Yeah.
And then Travis Hunter had the best game of his young career, eight catches for 101 yards and one touchdown. As he could show you what he could do on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think they really played him much on defense. At least I didn't see him much on defense. So I think they might just have him play one position for now and then just sprinkle him in here and there on defense.
Yeah.
But overall, what were your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was going to be a close game. I know Jaguars. This is an outlier. They're not that bad of a team that they look like in London today. Could be due to maybe partying in London for the week. I don't know exactly how it goes, but
But I
um,
mean, they looked bad last week too against Seattle.
yeah, that is true. Maybe they just have trouble with the NFC West. I don't know. But
Yeah,
then they could
maybe.
beat the Niners. You know what I'm saying? So I mean I don't know what they got going on, but I think they'll be all right. As far as the game, there's a few things, and I'm not gonna be biased, so I'm gonna just call it what it is. First of all, that blocking the back penalty was atrocious. Like, that should have been a punt return for a touchdown, for the
Oh
Jaguars.
yeah, that killed Jacksonville's momentum.
Yeah, that potentially could have changed the game. I mean, I don't even know what they was looking at. Then, another thing that hurt the Jaguars is, in the beginning, you kept turning down points. You had, like, I think 2, 3 chances to get 3 points. Had you put one of them through the uprights, I feel like the game could have went a different way. So giving away points, um, pretty bad officiating in this game. I'm gonna just call it what it is. The officiating wasn't too great. Now, as far as how the game looked, the Rams offense looked way too much for their defense. It looked honestly better without Puka, and I'm not one of those guys that like the offense better, because after 2 weeks without him, you'll see it's not better. But it looked better today without Puka, and I think if Stafford could continue to spread the ball more, T. Ferguson's a threat. Um, Mumfield, I mean, looks like he could be, and this is why I think it's time to move on from Tutu. I think they have, Mumfield and other guys they could sprinkle in there, and they still have is it Xavier Smith? That's I have to say I think it's time to try to see what you could do. Maybe involve him in a trade to bring back a cornerback. and maybe Tutu in a pick or something to get one of these top guys if you could pull it off. But the Rams looked. This was the first game of the year that they actually looked good, and the running game looked like crap. But as far as the offense, Matthew Stafford, the weapons he has, what you thought that part would look like, it looked good. We seen a rookie 7th round pick catch a touchdown. We seen our top tight end catch a touchdown. We seen Devontae Adams rejuvenate himself to the old Devontae Adams and pulling 3 touchdowns on 5 catches. So the Rams looked great. The Jaguars looked like they need to go back to the drawing board and figure a lot of shit out. But I was impressed with the game, and I went into the 1 o'clock games happy as fuck. So no complaints from me.
Yeah, for the Jaguars though, I wonder if them beating Kansas City, if they treated that like their Super Bowl, because since that game, they just haven't looked good. As I mentioned earlier, they didn't play well last week against Seattle, and then today it didn't even look like they even showed up. And I agree with you about them leaving points on the board. It kind of reminded me of Brandon Staley, the former Chargers coach, who kept going for it on fourth down every time, and he cost the Chargers so many games because if you just kick the field goal and go for the points, you win a lot of these games. And I'm not saying Jacksonville would have won today because I mean obviously it was a blowout, but who knows? Maybe instead of going for it on fourth and goal every time, kick the field goal. That's maybe 9 or 12 points right there that you just left on the field. And who knows? Instead of it being 21-0, maybe it's 21-9 or 21-12, and you be having a totally different conversation right now because the
Yeah,
game is a lot closer.
yeah. I think that they really hurt themselves by not taking those points, and I think some of them it was like 2 or 3 of them was 4th and 7. It's like
Yeah, so just kick the
not saying
field goal.
you get it, but it just hasn't been clicking for you guys. So it just doesn't seem like it would have been a smart decision on it. But I mean, that wasn't the only bad coaching decisions I've seen today. So I enjoyed what happened in this game.
Yeah, me too. I was so hyped I didn't even go back to sleep.
Yeah, me neither.
I've been up since the crack of dawn.
It's the first early morning game that I watched that I didn't fall asleep in while watching.
Yeah, I'm just happy that next week we finally go back to our normal schedule.
God,
So this will be the last London game. I think until week 10 or 11.
thank the Lord.
Yes, get to sleep in on a Sunday. So we'll go to the next game. And the next game, there's not much to talk about. The Kansas City Chiefs put belt to ass on the Las Vegas Raiders,
Yes,
31-0. Again, this game was over at halftime too. It was 21-0. We finally saw they decided to put Kenny Pickett in the fourth quarter, but by that time it was already 31-0. The game was over. So, but Geno Smith didn't do a goddamn thing today. Geno Smith had completed 10 of 16 passes for 67 yards, no
yeah,
touchdowns, no interceptions. Ashton Genty was the Raiders' leading rusher. He had 6 carries for 21 yards.
killed me.
Their leading receiver was Trey Tucker, 5 catches for 33 yards. And then for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes had a solid game, completed 26 of 35 passes for 286 yards, 3 touchdowns. He put himself in the MVP conversation now with the way he's been playing for the last month. Their leading rusher today was Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. So for the first time this year, Patrick Mahomes did not lead the team in rushing. And their leading receiver was Rasheed Rice,
Welcome
seven
back.
catches for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this was complete domination by the Chiefs. I really have not much to say other than for the Raiders. I know you paid Geno a lot of money,
You got it.
but like I said yesterday, just play Kenny Pickett. He can't be any worse.
You got it. You got it. You got it. I mean, this you can't go forward with Gino. It's no way.
The only good news though is Geno did not throw an interception today, so Jameis Winston's record might stay intact.
The
He's
only
still
one,
26, not 30.
well, the only one thing I want to ask you a question, but first I want to say this. The only one thing I would say is he has no weapons, and Brock Bowers isn't even playing.
Yeah,
Hasn't
he's hurt.
for weeks. So I mean,
So Jacoby Myers.
I man, what is he, a three?
Yeah, but he's the Raiders number one.
Yeah, but he's really like a good three.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's not a knock on him. He's a good player, but you can't be playing the one. So that could be a problem. That O line also doesn't look good, but Gino just making bad decisions. You now the question that I want to ask you is do you think he gets the start next week, or do you think they make the move to pick it like you said?
Now, I think he gets the start. I think the only reason why they benched him was because it was the fourth quarter. They're down 31-0, so they didn't want him to get hurt. That's the only reason why Kenny Pickett played today. And that's my opinion. I don't see them making a change. I think they're gonna write it out with Gino. But the way they're going right now, that they're gonna at least get a top 10 pick.
Maybe that's their thing. I mean, they're riding it out. Technically, they paid him for a pick. They knew they was gonna stink. Let's pay
Yeah,
Gino.
the
What's
only
up?
thing is though, the only problem with them like tanking for a quarterback is their coach. No, Pete Carroll's 74 years old. He's the oldest coach in NFL history. You
Well,
can't
maybe
take
they
him
didn't
for,
tell Pete Carroll
rebuild.
he was thinking. Maybe they didn't tell him that that's what their thought process was. So maybe that's why they was like, yeah, we don't want Shador. We don't want any hope. We already know what we're doing. Don't send none of that stuff over here. Right? But yeah, I don't got much to say about this game, bro. It's um the Raiders are definitely competing for being one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL. Even the Jets in spurts have looked better than them, even though they're 0-6. They're like, I don't know if they're much farther apart than it seems, but I knew the Chiefs would come out and put a mauling on them. The Chiefs woke up. On top of that, they're healthy now. You know what I'm saying? And they one of the best things they did, and I think the kid looked good. I don't know if you could try to pull up his stats because I didn't check them. The kid Smith, he was a wide receiver. They converted him to running back. I think this was the first game he played running back.
Yeah, Bashar Smith, he had 14 carries for 39 yards.
I think he's gonna be all right because that's his first time playing the position. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? So he has speed.
Draft pick.
What'd you say?
So he was their seventh round draft pick.
Yeah. I think that the Chiefs have a slick way of doing things, and they might have found themselves a good running back in the form of not a running back. So that was probably the one takeaway I took to the game. I was pretty impressed with him.
Also helped too that Kareem Hunt got hurt.
Yeah.
So it gave him more opportunities at running back.
Yep. Yep. Do you have an update on Hunt's injury? I know it was lower body.
I have not seen an update yet. Let me see if I can find anything on him.
I
I
just
don't see anything as far as injuries concerned.
Yeah, I just know he couldn't put pressure on one of his legs.
Yeah,
Seen that part.
but yeah, I mean it's a great win for the Chiefs. They're back in the thick of things, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But they look like so far no team in the AFC has really stood out. And so I mean the Chiefs they look like they're right back on track, and the way things are shaping out in the AFC right now, it wouldn't surprise me if they're at least in the AFC Championship game again.
Yeah, I think Chiefs go to the Super Bowl again. This is why I want to say for the past couple of weeks, people already had Mahomes in like the MVP race. And
Mhm.
it was like, how is he in it? How is he in it? It's because did you see what he was working with? Now they're getting healthy. Good luck. You see what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is, you know. And Kelsey's looking good again too. So
Yeah, he was looking old. Now he looks rejuvenated.
yeah,
And the receivers are coming back because now he's getting that one-on-one coverage again.
remember what I told you when they have Rasheed Rice and Worthy out there, it should make Kelsey feast. You should be feasting. And look at it, it's starting. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, not only that, I mean, they're loaded at wide receiver. They might not all be great, you know, but Worthy and Rice, I believe, is probably great, and Worthy's on the potential to be great, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and then Juju and Hollywood, they're nice, 3 and 4s.
and then they got it's
Yeah, yeah, but now that Rice is back, Thornton didn't even really play much. Only had one target.
but he could have had that big.
Catch, one catch for 39 yards.
And he also had another one that could have been caught for like 50 yards.
But yeah, but he didn't get as many targets now that Rice is back. He only had
They get him now.
yeah.
He's gonna need like 2 catches for 80 yards. He's gonna be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
he's gonna be like he's like their fifth receiver because looking at the stat sheet of
yeah,
Mahomes, he went to Rice, Worthy, Juju, and then Hollywood Brown.
yeah,
Those were his top four guys today.
yeah. And I think Hollywood and Juju usually reverse roles. I think Hollywood typically the third guy, and then
Yeah, today was Juju.
yeah, I think they had to help him man up for getting punched in the mouth last week. That's probably part of it. But that I mean, it wasn't a good game to watch. Like you said, I at halftime I knew it was over.
All right, well, we'll go to another game that was over at halftime, and I told you this Cleveland was going to win this game.
They called it
Cleveland Browns beat the Miami Dolphins 31-6.
belt to ass.
Apparently, Tua, Tua might be going to the meetings, but he ain't paying attention. He completed 12 of 23 passes for 100 yards and 3 interceptions.
He throw 2 touchdowns to the other team, 2 pick sixes.
Yeah, he did. And
Or
he
one
got
pick
he
six.
got benched, and we saw Quinn Ewers make his NFL debut. He completed 5 of 8 for only 53 yards, but he did get sacked twice. Their leading rusher was Devon Achane, 13 carries, 82 yards.
Stud.
Receiving, their leading receiver was Malik Washington, 5 catches for 30 yards. For Cleveland, Dylan Gabriel was okay. He completed 13 to 18 for 116 yards. The story of this game though was Quashawn Jukins, the rookie running back. He had 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. Their leading receiver was Harold Fannin Jr., 4 catches for 36 yards. So it was a dominant performance by the Cleveland Browns today. And yeah, Miami, I don't know what direction they're going in. Like
It's time
Mike,
to.
they might as well just fire Mike McDaniel right now. Like
I don't know.
players are not going to meetings, or if they are going to meetings, they're showing up late. And then as Tua said, like the coach doesn't do nothing, so players just think they can just do whatever the fuck they want. They have no respect for him. And I mean, Tua, even though he did speak out last week, he didn't help his case this week because he played like ass.
At all.
But if I'm ownership, I'm looking at it all in totality, and it's like you got to make a change.
Yeah, I honestly surprised. We haven't heard Mike McDaniel's got fired. I think we'll wake up to that news. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
it's time for them to unload. They don't. They've tried it. Think right. He came there. They paid the Jalen Ramseys. They paid the Bradley Chubb. They dished out the money. They paid Tua, Waddle, Hill. Now it's rip up contract time. What can you get? What money can you save? What draft pick can you pull in? The coach is done. I don't know about the GM because I do feel like they've done good with talent. That's one thing. I think some of these GMs get a bad stick when you look at their teams. It's like, bro, did he not give you things to work with? Like, clearly you're loaded.
well, see, with Mike McDaniel, because his first 2 years he was pretty good. They made the playoffs both years.
Yeah,
It was the first time the Dolphins had made the playoffs in back-to-back years,
yeah,
and like I think since Dan Marino or something like that. So I think he got off to a great start. And even if you look at their roster now, the talent is still there. I just think his problem is he's the cool head coach. He just lets you do whatever you want, and that's cool when you're winning. But I think what ended up happening was like they had success early, and they know that he's not going to do anything, so players start taking advantage. And it's kind of like you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, and
yeah,
I think this was happening these last 2 years, and then now this year just blowing up to where the fact that they're not even showing up to meetings, it tells you they have no respect for him.
yeah. No, but the crazy part that I'm looking at is like I got I understand fire the coach, right? I
Yeah,
also understood trade Tyreek Hill, Asian veteran, a little bit of issues here and there. Save yourself a little bit of money, make and was worth probably good draft capital when he was healthy, right?
yeah,
Um, I got that. I also kind of get the Bradley Chubb thing. He's probably at this point overpaid, underachieved, um, not like one of those big time prime time plays. You can move off him if somebody needs edge help and wants someone who's good but not great, but he's paid like he's great. You see what I'm saying? So I wasn't against those. What if I was a Dolphins fan, which would bother me is when you rebuild, you need core youth. Why am I hearing Waddles on the block? He's a young wide receiver that's paid already. Why am I hearing A Chain? Why would you trade him? Like what? These are the guys you rebuild with. Like if you was the like I said, get rid of even Tua, Chubb, Ty Hill. I get all that. I don't understand why you get like Waddle or A Chain or any of these young guys that you could keep and rebuild around on the table. That part don't make sense to me. But I would open the phones and be willing to answer anything and negotiate anything, which means everyone's on the table. But for you to get Waddle or A Chain, it would take a lot. Like those ain't really the guys I would be looking to trade.
The only way that makes sense is if because I just watched the documentary about it about a month ago. But Jimmy Johnson, what he did when he took over, when he got the head coaching job with the Cowboys, is he
Yeah.
got rid of everybody. People were at the time, people were like why you trading Herschel Walker? That's like your best player. Why you cutting, Randy White? He's like your best player on defense. But Jimmy Johnson, he went in there and he cut everybody and he rebuilt the team in his image and got players that he wanted, that he knew could fit his system and what he wanted to do. So the only way that trading those guys makes sense is if you're going to bring in a new coach and you want that coach to just, start from scratch and bring in players that he thinks can fit his scheme and fit his system and the way he wants to win.
I get that, but I great players fit in any scheme. So I mean, I I get it, and I think back then it was more teams was more of a coach's personality. I think a bit more back then. Now it's like there's social media and stuff. Like these coaches can barely control their teams. They definitely isn't rubbing off like that no more. You see what I'm saying? It's like a little different there, but
I mean, the coach they have right now can't even control that team.
that's what I mean. So it's like these like there's too much um personality now for you to send in some dull coach and think that the team's gonna take his personality. It's just not that era no more. Like these kids get to football, but they don't look at football like it's their last means how people used to before. Not all of them anyways. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
the game, like I just call it what it is. The Dolphins they're in the mud. They need to figure something out. Firing, releasing, trading, anything you need to do. The biggest story about this game is how good all the Cleveland rookies looked. Fannin Jr. believe he was maybe the third round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that was Dylan Gabriel.
When was Fannin Jr. drafted?
Let me see. He was also drafted in third round. You were right. So they had two third round picks.
So we got both their third round picks played good this game. Um, Judkins, I think, is a second round pick. I really wanted him in the draft. I don't know. I don't know why Rams don't like explosive players at running back. It just doesn't. It's mind boggling. But Judkins went bananas. Before Judkins, Dylan Sampson, who I think is a fourth rounder. I don't even know why I know all these rounds off the top of my head, but I believe he's a fourth rounder.
That's
Uh,
right. He was a fourth round.
yeah, he looked good before Judkins came in. So, and then you obviously know they still got Shador, who at this point, the better Gabriel looks, the more likely he's trade bait. Because if Gabriel locks this job down, you probably just want to have like an aged veteran behind him that can help him do things. Versus Shador doesn't really make sense. This is
Yeah.
more competition. Whoever wins takes it. The other one kind of got to go. So I think that all this makes Shador accessible. They got, I think, maybe Well, I know they got a ton of picks next year. They're one of the teams that got 2 first rounders next year.
But they still got to figure out what they're gonna do with Deshaun because they still owe him a bunch of money. His contract is fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I seen that. I already know what they're gonna do with him. And remember that I said this. They have I believe it's the June 1st deadline. They can't cut him before. If they cut him any time from now till then, it won't help them. It will actually make them pay more money. If they wait all the way to June 1st, the next June 1st, and
Hmm.
cut him the next day, they'll actually save money. So they're stuck until June 1st. So y'all see the very next day, he's out the door.
Well, we'll see what happens June 2nd.
Yeah, well, technically, to be fair, they can post date it. I just don't know how close to the date it has to be. They can tell you they're cutting him and just set it for June 1st. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know that the time for them to be able to save a little bit of money on the back end is to cut him after the June 1st. So I know that's what they're waiting on. He's done. I mean, I don't think he'll ever put on an NFL uniform again unless it's for cosplay.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, like I know they still owe money and either I guess what you're saying is they wait until after June 1st. It won't hurt their cap too
Yeah,
much, but it's still
exactly.
gonna hurt their cap.
Yeah, exactly. But if they do it now, it's gonna hit you with a tombstone pile driver. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Like you might want to. They just want to take the choke slam. They don't want the pile driver. You know what I'm saying? So just give me the choke slam on June 2nd. That's it. I mean,
Well, let me ask you this though, because we talked about this yesterday with Brian Dayball and Jackson Dart, and you think that Dayball now has saved his job.
yeah,
Do you think if Gabriel continues to play well, can that save Stefanski's job?
that's a tough one, man. That's a very tough one because the defense. You see that he's doing something. The offense. More games like this, yes, but I don't think that them blowing out Miami is wowing anybody. You know what I'm saying? So if they go out and compete the rest of this season, and Dylan Gabriel, I guess this is the difference, right? You watch Jackson Dot even today when they lost, fighting against the Broncos. It's like, yeah, he got it. And they're onto something. I have to see how they. I need to let this play out a little bit. That's the trigger button to make you hold off on firing the coach, right?
Yeah.
This one is we know your defense is good. Um, we're still not sure on Gabriel. That I haven't seen enough to be like, oh, I gotta see more. I'm still like got one eye squinted looking to see is Shador gonna come in or is Gabriel gonna grab hold of this? Gabriel needs to grab hold of that job, look good doing it. And basically, here's the illusion. They need to give that owner the vision that he needs to see this coach with that player more. You see what I'm saying? So until Gabriel is like the reason you win a game, I don't know how much the owner would be sold on that because even if you, for example, just figuratively speaking, say Gabriel plays good enough all year to enough to keep Sanders on the bench, right? Not enough to win too many games, though, right? Now, they go into the offseason, just say they have the number one pick. I don't think they will, but just say they do, right? Say Arch Manning or whoever they like enters the draft. If they have a coach they like, that they know likes Arch Manning or likes whatever one of these guys that's coming out, Stefanski's done. I think they'll take the new coach and the new quarterback. It's the Browns. This is a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick. They don't really have significant investments in the quarterback position right now other than Deshaun Watson. So if, just say figuratively speaking, Arch Manning is there at 1, he don't have no problem going there, and they have a coach in their mind that they really want, that they know is drooling to come coach Arch Manning, just throw something out there. John Gruden looks like he's smoking the NFL boots right now. But
Yeah, the Supreme Court, they threw away the NFL's thing, so they're
yeah,
moving forward with John Gruden,
yeah,
which I'm happy about because I felt like what happened to him was some BS.
yeah. He wasn't part of everything that was going on. It's like I, I digress on that. But bottom line is this: say John Gruden's cleared, then if I was like, look, we're just gonna take the settlement, go back to coaching, right? And he tells the Browns he wants to Josh Man and he'll come there. Stefanski's gone. Gabriel's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like Gabriel can't be average. Like that's not saving nobody. Like Jackson Dot, the energy and shit that's going on over there is what's giving that feeling like, ooh, I gotta see more. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
even the Kelsey brothers are saying that on their podcast. Like you want to watch them now. You know, nobody's saying that about the Browns. You don't got your franchise guy yet. It's a wait and see. Dot already solidified himself. 3 games. So I think that's the difference.
yeah, and I said it yesterday. Like even though we'll talk about them later, but yeah, even though the Giants are 2-5, if I'm a Giants fan right now, like I'm real excited about the future.
Yeah.
Right now with some of these other teams that are bad, including the Browns, there's really not much to be excited about. Like, yeah, you got the number 2 defense in the NFL, but the Browns always have a top 5, top 10 defense. So that's not anything to write home about. And even with your top 5 defense or top 2 defense, y'all still ain't winning games. So, what difference does it make to have a top 2 defense and you can't win
I think
because you
they
can't score?
I think they could be excited as some of the skill positions they drafted, but I think the QB still to be determined. Like
Yeah.
we don't know, and that's the most important part. It don't matter if your running back's great if your quarterback isn't good. So that's just where they're at right now.
Yeah, because with the Browns, like in the next 3 to 4 years, I could still the Browns still being in last place in that division.
Yep.
While with the Giants, in the next 3 to 4 years, I could see them winning that division.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I know right now they're 2-5, and I know the Eagles won a close one today, and I know it's rough, but I could genuinely see the Giants still making a run for the division this year.
I
They're
mean,
three.
that schedule's brutal, but yeah, the way they're playing right now,
Huh? I
it
mean,
wouldn't
look,
surprise me.
Denver got a great defense. That the Giants did not care. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. The Eagles, Giants did not care. I don't know what happened with the Saints. Chargers did not care. You see what I'm telling you? It's like that some people are defense proof, man. And I don't know what's going on, but that kid got it.
Yeah, and we'll talk about them later. But yeah, he impressed me today. Even in the loss, he impressed me.
Yeah.
But that's it for this game. So the next game we'll talk about another blowout. The New England Patriots beat the Tennessee Titans 31-13. The coaching change did not make a difference. This game was actually close in the first half. It was 17-13 at halftime, and then in the second half, the Patriots just blew it wide open. Drake May set a New England Patriots record, completing 93% of his passes. He completed 21 of 23 passes, just 2 incompletions for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Dobbs did make an appearance. He was 1 for 1 for 12 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 18 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. That led the Patriots in rushing. And then Stephon Diggs led the Patriots in receiving with 7 catches for 69 yards. And then Cam Ward, he was okay. He completed 25 of 34 passes for 255 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ty J. Spears led them in rushing with 5 carries, 22 yards. And then Shermer Dyke, I think that's how you say his name. But he led the team in receiving with 4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. And our old guy Van Jefferson also had 4 catches for 41 yards. I had no idea he's even on the Titans right now.
Yeah, he
But
fucked up my screen.
yeah, impressive win for the Patriots. They proved to 5-2. 4-0 on the road this year,
First,
and they're in first place in the AFC East.
and beat the Bills. When they,
That's why they're first place in the AFC East because they have the
yeah,
top over the Bills.
yeah. Um, I knew they would be impressive. I don't know if anybody thought they'd be this impressive this fast. Drake Mays, that record is pretty impressive. Tom Brady's best game as a Patriot, passing completion wise at 88, I think
Yeah,
88%.
they had 93% today.
Yeah, yeah, and it's only played how many games?
Right,
So
it's only the second year.
yeah, Brady had a long time to beat that. So beat it quick. So that I think was pretty impressive. Patriots fans got to be ecstatic about that. And as far as like Booty, Demario Douglas, they're looking. I mean, we know what Diggs is. No reason to mention him, but the younger guys are starting to finally step up. Their defense is playing good. I think we broke down. This is going to be the Mike Vrabel revenge game. It
Yeah, they beat. He got his revenge already.
Yeah, it did look opposite in the beginning because the Titans, I believe, was winning all the way up to 17 when it was 17-13. But it was a decent game. The Titans, I guess the biggest story that I'm looking at is, and this is where teams can feel some of these kids, but there's some things that has nothing to do with the teams. For example, we're at week 7. Cam Ward has 5 fumbles. 3 of those is just him dropping the ball, not being touched, right?
Right.
That can't happen. That's not has nothing to do with coaching. That's nothing to do with play calling. That's purely on him.
Yeah, better. He needs better ball security.
Yeah, he needs so until he gets better ball security. But then again, remember this is the Titans, so they're always there's a lot going on. For example, the kid got no wide receivers. The O line doesn't look that good whenever I see plays. It looks like they're always in the backfield on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have running backs. Like this, I don't know what you expect the kid to do, but at least he gotta hold on to the ball. Like the rest of the stuff is like whatever. He's out there trying to make plays and stuff, but just dropping the ball, that's one thing that would be unacceptable for me. And if he does it 1 or 2 more times, I might have to give him the Bryce Young treatment and bench him for a game or 2. Like because that's something you gotta nip in the butt early or it's gonna be a problem.
Well, yeah, and you and I we talked about it before the draft that we thought that Tennessee, they instead of drafting another quarterback, they should have just stuck with Will Levis and then just built a team around him. Instead, what they did was instead of they gave up on Will Levis after just 2 years, draft another quarterback, but yet the team around him is still ass. You're not solving anything. You need to build a team. Whoever your quarterback's going to be, build a team around him first. You can't just keep drafting quarterbacks every 2 years and expect things to change when the rest of your team is ass. Like you said, they have no running backs, no wide receivers. I can't even tell you who their tight end is. Their O line's not very good.
They don't got
Yeah, they don't have anything. And so I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I do believe Brian Callahan deserved to be fired because he wasn't really that good of a coach. But at the same time, you also got to look at the GM. Like, your job is to bring in players. He hasn't done that. All he's done is just keep cycling through quarterbacks.
yeah,
He might, draft another quarterback in another 2 years or so and
yeah.
just give up on Cam Ward if things continue the way they are. But you're going
But
to keep having the same problem unless you put some talent on that team.
go off their last 5 years of draft picks. Do you know who any of them are?
Outside of Levis and Ward, no.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, so let's go through it. I think Ronco might have been drafted by them. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure though. We know Pollard wasn't. We
No,
know,
he's from the Cowboys.
yeah, we know Ridley wasn't. He was drafted by the Falcons. So your top running back, your top wide receiver wasn't drafted there. I mean, I don't know any outside of Taylor Lewan, which was that had to be years ago at this point. I don't know any good O linemen they drafted. Do you know anybody like stars right now? They got their defense actually pretty good. But do you know any, like, just off the top of that, any great draft picks they got over there? I'm
No.
assuming they drafted most of these guys, but I'll be honest, I don't know many of their defense names.
All right, so here's their last 5 first round picks. Uh, 2025, you had Cam Ward.
Yeah.
2024, you had J.C. Latham, who's their tackle.
All right. All
So they
right.
drafted him last year. 2023, they drafted another O lineman, Peter Skornowski. 22, they drafted a wide receiver, Traylon Burks.
Yeah, you don't think he's on the team no more.
Team. And then you have Caleb Farley, who they drafted at corner. So those are their last 5 draft picks.
Bro, they're so
And
bad at drafting.
none of them are even hitting right now.
They're so bad at drafting, man. They are so bad at drafting. I don't know. I don't know what to do with them, but there's no quarterbacks ever going to be successful there.
Yeah,
You
in the last like 7 years, their best draft pick is AJ Brown, and he's not even on the team anymore.
yeah, no, you got rid of him and then drafted Traylon Burks.
And he's not on the team either.
I know. What a coinky dink. But we could move on to the next game. The Titans. I mean, the Titans are a shit show right now. I mean, they're not the worst team in the NFL, luckily, because their defense is actually decent. But they're a shit show.
They are, and it starts at the top.
Yeah. That's,
Well, we'll go from one shit show to another. We have the Carolina Panthers that beat the New York Jets today, 13-6. The Jets fall to 0-7. The Panthers have now won 3 in a row. They're now 4-3. They've won 4 of their last 5 since starting 0-2 to start the season. The news of this game was Bryce Young did get hurt, but before he got hurt, he completed 15 of 25 passes for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. Andy Dalton, he came in, he completed 4 of 7 passes for 60 yards. Their leading rusher was Rico Dwaddle, 17 carries for 79 yards. And their leading receiver was Xavier Leggett at 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. For the Jets, Justin Fields got benched after only completing 6 of 12 passes for 46 yards in the first half. Tyrod Taylor came in the second half, only completed 10 of 22, which is not good.
I think he
For
fumbled.
126 yards, he had 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Brees Hall was their leading rusher with 11 carries, 38 yards, and their leading receiver was Tyler Johnson, 3 catches for 60 yards. As the Jets dropped to 0-7, the defense finally showed up, but their offense didn't show up. And now they have a quarterback controversy because Justin Fields got benched and they went with Tyrod Taylor. So, what's your thoughts on this game, Panthers and Jets?
Um, shit show. Panthers. I mean, Panthers are a decent team. We knew we predicted they was a sleeper team, right?
Yeah, it didn't look good the first couple weeks of the season, though.
Yeah, but these are the games that show you grit, right? So from the Panthers' perspective, this is a good game to win, a good thing to go through, a little bit of adversity, stuff like that. I honestly think they would have won by more, but they tried to get cute in the beginning of the game and start Chuba Hubbard, knowing that, like, let me just read you something and tell you why. Sometimes it's just I don't know what people are doing exactly. So the last 2 weeks prior to this week, right? And
Hmm.
mind you, this is during their win streak. Rico Dotto last week, 30 carries, 183 yards, 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown.
Well, that
The,
was a revenge game for him.
yep, but how about this? The week before, 23 rushes, 206 yards for a touchdown, 3 catches, 28 yards. The guy ran for 400 in 2 games.
Yeah.
He's unbenchable. But what the Panthers did today, which I mean, I don't ask. They decided to bench Dottle and go back to Chuba Hubbard, right? And once it got a little close to halftime, it was like a 3-3 game at that point too. Once they took him out, Dottle started running all over the place. Bro, if they would have just started him, I don't think this game would have been close, to tell you the truth. Just the Panthers couldn't do anything till they got him in the game. So I don't know whose great coaching decision that was to go back to a non-sufficient guy when you have a dude that's running on an Adrian Peterson type level. So numbers wise, anyways, not the person, but 200 a game. It's like, bruh, there's guys that played 7 games ain't got 250. He got 200 in a game. You don't bench him. Not after he does it back-to-back weeks. One time, if he goes the next week, he gives you a 30 piece, cool. But now you're talking about 200, 180, 80 with limited carries. Bro, he just started. It's just,
I think they were trying to give Hubbard, because Hubbard got hurt. So now that he's healthy, they try to give him his job back. But the way Donald's been running, he might have lost that job.
but that job was gone when he ran for 200. That's why I was confused. Why after 200 and 180, he still was on the bench for 2 quarters. I'm saying, it's like, bro, come on. I know that Bryce was probably looking at the coach like, yo, you putting Rico in this drive? Like, you see, like, bro, he's making my job easy. Like, now you're making it hard again.
Well, speaking of Bryce, though, are you concerned about his injury? He hurt his ankle. They're saying he might not play next week. I mean, Andy Dalton, he's capable.
Yeah, I don't
You think the Bryce Young injury should be something we should be concerned about?
know. And I'm gonna tell you why. I know this may hurt some people's feelings. I think right now Andy Dalton's still better than him. So
Yeah, I agree.
so I don't think that this is gonna hurt the Panthers as a whole. I think they'll probably average more points. He'll give you a couple. Don't get me wrong, Andy will throw some dumb passes as well. But I think that they'll score more points. So it doesn't hurt them on that aspect. He can hold the ship afloat until Bryce is ready. Hopefully it's not a high ankle sprain, and then I don't think they have anything to worry about. Andy's there to just hold the ship till he's back. Now, if if it's if it's a high ankle sprain, you have a little bit more reason to concern there, because maybe you missed a little bit of time. Maybe you don't get right all the way through the year. And if that's the case, if you ever did make the playoffs, you probably would go with Andy over 1.5 feet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
if it's a high ankle sprain, I'd be more concerned because I mean, look at JJ McCarthy.
yeah,
He's missed like 4 games in a row.
yeah. At this point, I don't think he's missing games for injury. I think they're choosing to go with Carson Wentz, but that's just my personal opinion. We'll get into it in a second too. I think Wentz should have won the game today. He just made a few bad mistakes trying to force shit. But as far as just lost my topic. Where was we just at?
We're talking about Andy Dalton.
The Panthers. I was trying to get to the Jets, and I literally brain farted. As far as Fields, I think they go back to Fields. There's a few things when you watch games, and it's like, why does that happen? One of those things is this: Fields does hold the ball too long. I mean, it's like he's gun shy. This is why he's not throwing interceptions. He's like over careful with the ball, but he's also not taking risks to get completions. So it's like just not working from any aspect. So he is holding the ball too long. But when he does his dropbacks, they're all over him. It happens quick. Like, I feel like when Tyrod Taylor did it, the line gives him more time. Sometimes that line just tells you who they like more. It just is what it is. So, I mean, Tyrod Taylor is a better pure passer. I don't think anybody would even question that. But at this point in his life, you could see he was just slinging. He threw 2 terrible interceptions. I believe he fumbled once. And at the end of the day, now you're saying, all right, I don't know how much better than that was than not throwing the ball. You see what I'm saying? Now, Justin Fields needs to be coached on the things that I would work on if I was him, and I think that he could become a decent quarterback. 3-step, 5-step, or even 7-step drop release. Like, when I say release, it means let the ball go. Like, if we're calling a 3-step drop, and you have 1 or 2 reads in their short routes, take the 3 yards. I'm telling you, take the 3 steps back, plant your foot, throw the ball. That route should be open every time. The reason it's not is because you're waiting too long. You see what I'm saying? So if I say a 5-step drop, what that means is when your fifth step hits the back is planting in the foot. You when your excuse me when your fifth step is planting in the ground, release the ball. There's gonna be something open. It's literally you like first read, second read, third read. Most quarterbacks, you're trained to just throw to your first read if it's open. And they're not doing down the field passes in New York. So I know you got a 3 yard dump off open every play. You're just not taking it. Now he needs to learn how to take those, and then he could get comfortable getting through progressions. But that's his problem right now. He's like skipping progressions. He's not reading the field right, and he's holding on to the ball too long. I don't. Coaching is a problem, but no team's gonna win when your quarterback's doing that. So he needs to figure that out.
Well, if I'm the Jets, he doesn't need to figure it out this year, and I'm not teaching him to figure it out because at this point, just let him keep doing what he's doing because he's going to get them the number one pick,
Yeah.
and that might be what they need to fully rebuild. 'Cause, I mean,
Right.
the talent is there. The only knock on them right now is they just haven't been able to find a quarterback. They thought it was going to be Zach Wilson, that didn't work out. They tried Aaron Rodgers, that didn't work. Justin Fields right now looks worse than both of them. So I mean, at this point, just draft another quarterback and start all over.
I'd agree. It's not like they gave him top tier money. I think he got 2 years, 40 million. So
Yeah,
that's
they gave him a 3 year contract, but from what my understanding is that they can get out of it after this year.
yeah. It's and it ended up being like 2 years, 40 million or 30 million
Yeah,
guaranteed or something. It's only a little bit more than money. So it's probably a little bit what he was worth, but it's not. It wasn't crazy money for NFL starting quarterback.
but yeah, I mean the Jets they're going in the wrong direction for sure.
Yeah. I think it's time for them to blow up too. I mean, that I think that, and this is just my personal opinion because they could turn it around. I think they messed up paying Garrett Wilson. I think they should have paid him. I think they should have traded them all. I think that they should have waited because right now, looking at it, Garrett Wilson is probably worth the most out of any trade on your team. Then it may be probably someone on defense. Then you got Brees Hall. So you got a lot of pieces that you can trade away. Um, but Garrett Wilson, because now you just paid him, you're not going to be able to trade him this year. I don't see why the Jets paid him. Like, did you think he was going to be good? I could have told you at the beginning of the year, there's a chance you could be very bad and you might have to go to the trade block. So I would have just held off on it. That's just what I would have did.
In all honesty, they might have just been better off just keeping Zach Wilson instead of giving up on him after 2 years. Just kept him, let him grow with Garrett Wilson and some of these younger receivers, and see where you're at. 'Cause, I mean, had they just stayed the course with Zach Wilson, this would have been like what, year 4, year 5 for him. So
Yeah,
they might have would have been in a better position. Instead, you give up draft picks to get Aaron Rodgers, and then that doesn't work. So now you sign Justin Fields, but all thing you're doing is just wasting years for Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams.
it doesn't make no sense the way that they did that. Truthfully,
No,
this is what it is. Like I said, all your top players and they drafted well for a couple of years and just did nothing with it. Never brought a quarterback to go. Well, I guess they tried with Aaron Rodgers, but they wasn't realistic because when he messed up when he tore his Achilles, they was already giving him a shot to come back that year. We know an Achilles takes you 2 years to be healthy. We know that. So when they were telling him to come back or try to come back that year and overworking it and forcing to break through barriers he wasn't gonna
yeah,
receive it.
they thought they were going to make the playoffs that year.
Yeah, and then he comes back and he isn't fully healthy, but it just was what it was. And then now you look at him and you're like, well, what went wrong in New York? He wasn't healthy. You see what I'm saying? Like this is why when he flew down and met with Aaron Glenn, you might have just said, let's run this back one more year. It's just my personal opinion, but that's for them to look at. I don't think they win a game this year. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they win one game this year.
I think I mean it's the NFL. They're gonna f around and win one game. I mean they got to get lucky at least one time.
Uh, I'm just telling you this: there's not a game you could predict they'll win, right? If they win it, like how the hell they win it, right?
Hold on, let me pull up their schedule.
Because didn't they lose to the Raiders?
I don't know. They lost to the Dolphins.
Yeah, look,
So their remaining schedule,
for the first
they
time,
have the Bengals next week.
tell me who they lost to so far. First,
All right, so far they week one they lost to the Steelers.
yeah,
Hold on.
and they actually look good week one.
Yeah, they lost to the Steelers. Week two they lost to the Bills.
Yeah,
Week three they lost to the Buccaneers, a game that they should have won. And then week four they lost to the Dolphins. Week five they lost to the Cowboys. Week six they lost to the Broncos, and then today week seven losing to the Panthers. So their remaining schedule, they have the Bengals next week. Then they have the Browns, which might be a winnable game. We'll see. Then they
yeah,
have the Patriots. They'll probably lose. The Ravens, I don't know if Lamar's back. They'll probably lose. If Lamar's still hurt, they might win that game. The
but
Falcons, with the Falcons, you never know.
yeah,
Then they have the Dolphins. Then they play the Jaguars. Then they have the Saints. Then the Patriots again, and then the end of the season with the Bills again.
it's gonna be a rough season for them, bro. There is a couple of games they could potentially win, but I'm gonna just say it now. I think they might match that 0 in record. They might be 0-17 this year, or they might win one. It's possible, but I think they might go undefeated the
Well,
wrong
the
way.
record is the 2008 Lions with 0-16.
Yeah,
Now with the extra game, the Jets have the potential to break that record.
that's what I'm telling you. They're about to be game changing. They're gonna break a record that they don't want to have. That's just about to happen. I'm telling you. But that's my last prediction, man. I don't even want to talk about the Jets no more. They're disgusting, bro.
All right, let's move on to a better team. Well, maybe not a better team. We have the Chicago Bears. They beat the New Orleans Saints 26-14. I got that prediction right. You picked the
Yes,
Saints.
correct.
Spencer Rattler, he played okay. He completed 20 of 32 passes, 233 yards, two touchdowns, but he had three interceptions today.
Yep,
Alvin Kamara was their leading rusher with 11 carries, 28 yards. Their leading receiver was Chris Olivier, five catches, 98 yards, two touchdowns. Also, Jawan Johnson had five catches for 79 yards. For the Bears, Caleb Williams was not great today. He only completed 15 of 26 passes for 172 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. DeAndre Swift was awesome today. 19 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown. And then DJ Moore was their leading receiver with three catches, 43 yards. But the Bears have now won four in a row after starting the season 0-2. They're now 4-2 on the season. And for the Saints, they fall to 1-6. The Bears are 4-2, and they now are neck and neck with the Lions on top of the NFC North. And well, also to the Cowboy. I mean, the Packers are there too. So right now, the NFC North looks like it's going to be Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago. Even though I think we both agree Chicago might be the worst out of those three teams. As far as the Saints, they dropped to 1-6 on the season. Your thoughts on this game?
Um, first thing I thought Rattler played a part in this, even though the parts he looked good at, like the 50-something yard pass through down the middle of the field, the touchdown in the end zone to Olave, actually two of them, I believe. But the three interceptions, one of the main things why I thought they could win this game is because he hasn't done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah,
think he might even put the ball on the floor another time on top of that. I expected the turnovers to come from the other side, although the Bears did have one or two of them. Rattler was just throwing picks all over the place. So, with that being said, I guess this was his coming back to earth game. And the Bears look good. Shout out to them. They had a couple different running backs going. Their wide receiver core is pretty good. I do think they need to utilize DJ Moore a little bit more. no pun intended. But they're looking good. Their defense today against the Saints, for most part, looked like the '85 Bears.
Yeah, defense looks good.
Yeah,
Offensively, they can get better.
sure.
But
100%.
I mean, with the way they're playing right now, I mean, I can see them being like a wild card team. I don't think they're gonna compete for the division. I still think that division comes down to Detroit and Green Bay. But I think Chicago, they can fight for a wild card spot.
I agree. Definitely agree.
All right, so we'll move on, and then we have next up we have the Philadelphia Eagles against the Minnesota Vikings. The Eagles won this game 28-22. Jalen Hurts actually threw the ball today. He completed 19 to 23 yards. Excuse me, 19 to 23 passes for 326 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Saquon was their leading rusher with 18 carries, 44 yards. Devontae Smith, 9 catches, 183 yards, and the touchdown. That was their leading receiver, but AJ Brown also had a great game. 4 catches, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns. For the Vikings, Carson Wentz, 26 to 42 passes, 313 yards, but he threw 2 picks in this game. Jordan Mason was their leading rusher with 15 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jordan Addison was their leading receiver with 9 catches, 128 yards. But those 2 turnovers by Carson Wentz is what killed them in this game. The Eagles pulled off the win 28-22. They now improved to 5-2. The Vikings dropped to 3-3, and they're now last place in their division.
Yeah,
So and then you brought up something earlier, but you think that JJ McCarthy's ankle is probably healthy, that they're just choosing to start Wentz.
yeah. I think for the past 2 weeks, you could tell by the unclarity that it's kind of just a decision. You know what I'm saying? They're not really
Normally, a sprained ankle doesn't take this long to heal.
yeah, they're not updating you much on that. They think they had him might have been the emergency third quarterback, which tells you he can play. I mean, you just gotta read between the lines here. He's suiting up. He could play.
Yeah,
They I think they was hoping Carson Wentz would give him a spot in Philly. Next week, I guess we'll see the real decision because Wentz they probably wanted a revenge game, and for part of this game, it looked like he wanted that. But I think that he forced some of those passes, wanting that a bit too much, and that's what cost him. One of those picks was one of them was real costly. I think the Vikings had 2-3 chances to take the lead and just every time shot themselves in the foot. I do think they're decent though. But as far as the Eagles, I mean, they showed people they could throw. I don't know why Barkley's fell off a cliff this year. I don't know what's going on with that aspect of it. I don't know if it's the running schemes is just different. But good for the Eagles. They played how they were supposed to. They looked like defending champs today. Jalen Hurts, I mean, we want to see you do this more, though. That's the question. So don't you? That's the thing we want, and so don't the wide receivers. Now, just keep it up. Let's see where it goes. But good game from the Eagles, man. They did their thing.
yeah. I think for Saquon, I think the issue for the Eagles is their offensive line. They said during the game today, Oli Ashton Genty has gotten hit more times in the backfield than Saquon. Saquon and Ashton Benty, those are the 2 running backs that have gotten hit more times in the backfield than any other running back in the league. So I think the O line, for whatever reason, is just not blocking or dominating like the way they did last year. I don't know if they lost anybody on their O line, but the O line just not playing the same.
Yeah,
But passing game wise, this is probably the best we've seen Jalen Hurts in a while.
I agree. Did you see the way the Vikings tried to defend the tush push?
Yeah, they kind of like jumped over
Yeah,
the
yeah, and they got a person lining up sideways on the
yeah,
said, "You want to do this funky shit? We gonna find funky ways to combat it."
yeah.
That dude, it looked like he was laying in the middle. He was prowling. I mean, it's like try running through me now. I mean, but good game. You can move on to the next one. I don't think that was. I think we expected that, but at deep down, I was cheering a little bit for the Vikings and Carson Wentz to get his revenge. It didn't happen.
Yeah, it just wasn't in the cards for him today.
Yeah,
The next game, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They beat the LA Chargers 38-24. The
defended.
Chargers, they fought back. They were down. Um, excuse me. 23-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
So they made it a ball game in the second half. Daniel Jones, another great game, 23-34 passes for 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Jonathan Taylor, another great game, 16 carries, 94 yards, 3 touchdowns. Alec Pierce led the team in receiving with 5 catches, 98 yards. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert, 37-55 for 420 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions, but 55 passing attempts is way too many passing attempts. They need more balance.
Yeah.
Also, too, Justin Herbert was their leading rusher, 6 carries for 31 yards. And then for the passing, though, I don't know if I've said this right, but his name is Old Orde Gadsden.
Around
Yeah,
Junior.
he has 7 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown. Keenan Allen also turned back the clock, 11 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown. But to me, this game was about the Chargers. Just, I think the Chargers have too many injuries. Their O line is decimated. They lost another O lineman in this game too, and then also too the running backs are decimated. They've lost like their top 3 running backs. They're playing with their 4th string running back,
Yeah,
and Justin Herbert is trying to do way too much.
I agree. I definitely agree. And I take on the Colts are for real. And I think it's time to stop putting Jonathan Taylor in the MVP discussion. I know they won't give it to him because he's a running back, but I think it's
Yeah,
that.
and I don't like that too. Like I don't understand why for like the last like 15 years the MVP has turned into a quarterback award.
Yeah, for sure. It's basically a glorified quarterback award, but he deserves to be in that discussion. I think he's making Daniel Jones' job way easier than it's supposed to be. So that's what I'm looking at. So the Colts are for real. That was impressive. The Chargers after since the Arthur injury, they're in trouble, man. They can't block nobody up front. They and I don't know what you could do to get linemen middle of the season. It's not typically you're gonna be able to pull that off. So they could be in trouble.
Well, they can at least try to get a running back because all their running backs are hurt.
Yeah, Hampton at least will be back. And to be fair, Vital looked good the first week. He just didn't look good this week.
Yeah. But yeah, the Colts they improved to 6-1. They have the best record in the NFL. They're off to their best start since 2009. And if
Yeah,
you're a Colts fan in 2009, that's the year y'all went to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, lost to New Orleans that year, but maybe history repeats itself.
pick
You can
six.
make it to the Super Bowl again this year.
My boy Tracy took Peyton down
Yeah,
the sideline to the house. I remember that. I
yeah.
remember that shit. But yeah, this the Chargers I think will be fine. But I mean the Colts are impressive. The Rams beating them was pretty impressive. Although I do feel like they beat themselves a little bit more that game than we beat them.
Well, yeah, especially that one, can't remember his name, the receiver that dropped the ball at the 1 yard line.
Yep.
He was aiming for a touchdown.
I'm not gonna be able to pull it. I'm so tired. I'll never be able to pull it off the top of my head. But yeah, that was one of the main plays that really killed the Colts that game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. The Colts, we talked about it earlier. The AFC is wide open. The favorites to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl is Buffalo. The favorite for the matchup is people think it's gonna be Bills versus Packers in the
Yeah,
Super Bowl. But
Rams and Chiefs.
yeah, I don't like I said, I don't know what people see in Packers Bills. I don't know why people want that matchup or why those are the two favorites.
I want to know why people think that the Bills could beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Well,
That's
that's what I was going to ask you though. It might not even come down to the Bills. The question is the Colts. The Colts right now have the best record. I mean, do you think they can challenge the Chiefs in the playoffs? Can
how
we
about
see the
this?
Colts? Because I mean, the AFC is wide open. Like, there's really no dominant team in the AFC this year.
I'm
The
gonna just
NFC looks like they're the better conference.
you know what probably one of the scariest teams right now. If Joe Flacco gets 4 or 5 more games, and you know that the Bengals about to make the playoffs, and Joey B would beat it. Like
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah,
that's gonna be
that
that's
happened.
yeah, that's gonna be a problem because I think they already got like 4 wins. Like I don't even know how they got the wins they got. To tell you the truth, but they're like right in the thick of the things, and then beating the Steelers. looms very large with the Ravens and the Browns basically dead in the water right now. So I mean, if I was looking in the AFC and I thought this could be my year, I'm still thinking about the same two big dogs, the Chiefs and the Bengals. Those are the two teams I'm looking at. At least you don't got to worry about the Ravens right now. But I'm still looking like I hope I'd be praying Joe Flacco loses 2-3 games in a row. That's what I would hope. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they got an easy one next week. They got the Jets coming up.
Oh yeah, he's going to destroy them. It's a 4 touchdown game. I mean, we're watching the rejuvenation of Joe Flacco. That's what we're watching right now.
Well, it helps that he gets to throw the ball to Chase and Higgins now instead of throwing it to just Jerry Judy and whoever else they had in Cleveland.
Yep. Said, look, I'm just putting it up there. I know I got some guys now.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Colts win this game. I have nothing much to add to that one. The next game is probably the game of the week. The Denver Broncos beat the New York Giants 33 to 32.
Yep.
This game was wild. The Giants actually dominated this game. They were up 19 to nothing, and then the Broncos scored all 33 points in the fourth quarter. Today was Demarius Thomas Day in Denver, and I think Demarius Thomas was definitely with them. His spirit was definitely with them today because I don't know how the Broncos won this game. The Giants gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter. That defense looked dominant for the first 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter they just forgot how to play.
Yeah.
And as for the Giants, they might have to find a new kicker because their kicker missed 2 extra points, and those 2 points ended up costing them the game.
Yeah.
Especially when Dart tied the well when they took the lead. Had he made that kick, we probably going into overtime instead of losing.
Yeah.
But I will say this about the Giants, and to your point earlier, Jackson Dart, he's got it. I was impressed. You blow a 19-point lead, Denver takes the lead, and he doesn't panic or nothing. He just drives them right down the field and scored what I thought was going to be the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
So I was very impressed. And like I said earlier, if I'm a Giants fan right now, even though our team is 2-5, I am really happy and I'm really excited for
Yeah.
the future because I can see this team being a playoff team either next year or the year after. And with their core being so young, this team can easily make a Super Bowl run in the next like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for the future. And even in the loss, I think Jackson Dart, whatever it is, he's got it. And
Yeah.
I was really impressed with him today. Let me read off the stats real quick before you give your take.
But
Jackson Dart completed 15 to 33 passes for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That 1 interception was costly in that fourth quarter. Cam Scatterbo, he has 16 carries, 60 yards. Wandell Robinson was their leading receiver with 6 catches for 95 yards. On the Denver side, Bo Nix completed 27 to 50 passes. Again, that's way too many pass attempts, especially for Bo Nix. But he did throw for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. J.K. Dobbins was the leading rusher with 14 carries, 81 yards. Cortland Sutton was their leading receiver with 6 catches, 87 yards. Also, too, Marvin Mims had 6 catches, 85 yards. So, your thoughts on this game?
man, the fourth quarter alone was the best one quarter in football this year out of any game. The back and forth, Bo Nix and Jackson Dye, you looking at both of them like, oh, we're watching the future. They was both going crazy.
Yeah,
The energy was out there. They had stadium Denver. The Denver fans are going nuts. Um, that literally came down to the last second. Like anybody could have won that game. And it came down to the 2 missed field goals, which was the mistakes that ended up costing them a chance to win that game. But this was a great game, especially thinking about these two teams and just think about last year. Denver overachieved. No one expected anything from them. So be looking at Denver and New York this year and being like, damn, Denver's already good. And the Giants is probably the next team to make this version. You know what I'm saying? So and that's that's what I mean about when you get the right guy, you got the right guy. You see what I'm saying? Like when you see that, you don't want to fire the coach. You're like, the coach brought this. Let's see what he could do. I like it. You know what I'm saying? You open the leash more. You know what I'm saying? You give yourself more room. And there's some people are just failing their quarterbacks. But I will also say this: Bo Nix and Jackson Dart came into the league ready to play. I think that's the part that's hard to judge when you're drafting quarterbacks. You think some of them are projects, but they're ready. You think some of them are ready, but they're projects. You see what I'm saying? But as far as this game, the only thing I left this game thinking, man, and hear me out for a second, because I know they got one. But if I'm not, if I'm not someone that knows a lot about football and I don't know the players and don't know injuries, I'm looking at this team like, imagine they had a wide receiver one, and then you remember they actually have a top 10 wide receiver. He's just not playing right now. So before you even get into draft picks or anything, you're telling me this team that we're watching that's this excited already got a top tier wide receiver? Bro, their future is amazing.
Yeah, like I told you yesterday, all they're missing is a wide receiver too.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And Wandell Robinson keep balling up. He might be a two. I just don't.
Yeah, they might have to push Slayton down the depth chart.
100%. I
And I,
think.
and I will say too about Dart because you said that he was ready to play at the college.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my point is that he did play for
How about?
um I can't think of Lane Kiffin, the coach at Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin was his coach. Lane Kiffin coached in the NFL for a little while, and they say that Mississippi they play a pro style offense.
Yeah.
So maybe that made the transition to the NFL a lot more easier, and that's why we're not seeing Dart struggle the way that we see a lot of these other rookie quarterbacks struggle.
What I was gonna say though is we did see how about with McCarthy, and McCarthy don't look NFL ready right now. That he
Nah,
kind they kind of duped me on that one. I thought that, but you're right. That is typically one of the biggest reasons why these quarterbacks are ready is that they're with somebody that knows about the NFL and they can get them ready for the NFL. If someone isn't in tune with the NFL, they're probably not going to be able to get you ready for it. They're just going to get you up to par to what they think they need you to be, but that may not be NFL standards. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the part comes down to. But that's ready. Um, they probably had they. Well, I want to say that those games he sat helped him to be as confident as he is right now. Had he had been thrown in there week one, maybe he would look like Cam Ward right now. I don't know. You know,
yeah, I mean he has said it though that sitting for those first 3 games and watching Russ has helped him. Another person that's helped him that doesn't get enough shine because he's QB3.
yeah,
But Dart has said that like James Winston has helped him a lot as
yeah,
far as like learning how to be a pro, teaching them how to prepare. And James Winston's really taken the older brother role with Jackson Dart. So you gotta give James Winston some credit too for helping them along. But yeah, the Giants they're gonna be kicking themselves, especially their defense, because their defense you can't give up 33 points in the fourth quarter.
yeah.
Um,
Especially
but yeah,
that says that many good players.
hmm but I mean, the offensively though, the Giants, and like you said, they did this without even having neighbors. I
Yeah.
mean, they marched up and down the field on one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. It didn't even phase them.
Yes, they did. Yes,
And
they
then,
did.
like I said, what really impressed me about Dart is when Denver took the lead, and most quarterbacks, especially being that young, is like they just deflated. The team is deflated. Like, damn, we can't believe we blew this game. And with 1 minute, with less than a minute, he just marches the team right down the field and scored what looked like was going to be the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
So that in itself impressed me, and that's why I said that if I'm a Giants fan today, I am really really excited and happy about the future of this team.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
I agree.
for the my bad. Sorry to cut you off. What you gonna say?
I'm gonna say I'm not a Giants fan. And I'm excited for the future of this team.
Yeah, I mean they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
But for the Broncos, they improved to 5-2. They're now in first place in the AFC West. And I just want to say RIP to Demarius Thomas. Today was Demarius Thomas Day in Denver. They put him in the Ring of Honor. Demarius Thomas, he left us way too soon. He passed away in 2021 at the age of 33. So I'm happy that they recognized Demarius Thomas, and like I said, I think Demarius Thomas is with them in spirit, especially in that fourth quarter. 'Cause I can't explain how they came back and won this game.
I agree. I definitely agree, bro.
But we'll move on to the next game. The next game we have the Green Bay Packers beating the Arizona Cardinals 27-23. The Packers they improved to 4-1-1. So that tie they had with Dallas is the reason why they're in first place in their division. And the Arizona Cardinals, after that 2-0 start, have now lost 5 in a row. I will say once again, Jacoby Brissett played pretty well. He played well enough for them to win. The Packers, I know they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl, but I'm just not seeing it. But I'll go over the stats real quick. Jordan Love completed 19 to 29 passes, 179 yards, one touchdown, no picks. Josh Jacobs, who was literally a game time decision, he was their leading rusher with 13 carries, 55 yards. He did have two touchdowns. Receiving wise, Romeo Dobbs was their leading receiver with 6 catches for 72 yards. And then for Arizona, like I said, Jacoby Brissett balled out. He completed 25 of 36 passes, 279 yards, two touchdowns, no picks. Bam Knight led the team in rushing with 14 carries, 57 yards. And then Trey McBride was their leading receiver with 10 catches, 74 yards, and two touchdowns. And so far, Brissett, to me anyway, he's looked better in this offense than Kyler Murray. But for the Packers, they pull out a win over a bad Arizona team. And like I keep saying, I know the Packers are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. They're the favorites to win the NFC and make it to the Super Bowl. I don't know what everybody else is seeing that I'm not seeing, but so far, outside of those first two games, I'm just not seeing it with the Packers. And I haven't really been impressed with them. But Mike, what's your thoughts about this game? The Packers beating the Cardinals.
The Packers is showing you that they're not that good. I think that's what it. They haven't beat any good teams really. They've lost to the Browns. They're in dog fights with the Cardinals. Does doesn't seem like,
Tied with the Cowboys.
it doesn't seem like a good team to me. Like if you just go over, you go. There's been only 7 weeks, so you almost lost to Arizona. You lost to Cleveland. You tied Dallas. So half of your games, you was ass. Like so, there's no way even if the other half you was great, you could tell me that you're a top team because 3 of those games you was dog shit, right? Including today. I think what saved them today, I believe Parsons had like 3 sacks. If not for that, in the times that he got those sacks, Jacoby was about to throw y'all out the building. Like,
Yeah, Michael Parsons had a career high 3 sacks today.
yep. So, that's the game winner. Like the Packers didn't actually do enough on offense to win this game because I think Brissett would have got more than 27 points on that board had Micah not spoiled his plans. You see what I'm saying?
Well, let
So
me ask you this then: Why do you think the Packers? Why do you think everybody's picking the Packers to go to the Super Bowl?
I don't know, but I think that the Packers and the Bills every year for the past decade have always been darlings to be picked for the Super Bowl. And I promise you, I've been saying it since 2010 with the Packers. I said Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna see another Super Bowl with them. Got shitted on for a long time. Guess what? It's not on the Packers. Never sniffed another Super Bowl. Packers is not sniffing a Super Bowl. They're a Super Bowl darling pick at the beginning of every year, just like the Buffalo Bills. But the truth is this: same thing I've been saying for the whole Josh Allen time. You can't tell me he's gonna beat Mahomes in the playoffs until he beats Mahomes in the playoffs. It's like I'm not the guy that bets against the undefeated guy. I'd rather pick the undefeated guy and lose my money gracefully if he somehow loses. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that it's just every year They picked the Packers and it has no merit. There's nothing that tells you that the Packers should be the Super Bowl favorite. For example, what would make you put them above the Eagles? And I'm
Yeah, they're the defending champs.
and they're better than them right now. So they got better quality wins than them right now. They have a more scarier offense. Bro, they got two wide receiver ones. The Packers don't have one. You see what I'm trying to tell you? So and then don't get me wrong, I crushed Jalen Hurts, so I'm gonna call it what it is. Jordan Love ain't much better than him. He hasn't done nothing. Does throw more. He does. That's true. But I don't look at Jordan Love and see no Aaron Rodgers or see one of these top five quarterbacks like these Packers fans and certain broadcasters believe he is. I think if you put together an actual top 10 quarterbacks list, he shouldn't be on it. He hasn't done anything to be on it. You go across the list, and there's probably a lot of guys that get no respect that have done a lot more than him. For example, Jared Goff. You see what I'm saying? Nobody, they talk about they still try to fight back every year that he needs help. Well, why isn't Jordan Love doing it? Oh, he gets the benefit of the doubt. Like, and that's the problem. Packers ain't sniffing the Super Bowl. They're not one of the top three best teams in the NFC. They're just not. I don't think the Packers could beat the Eagles in the playoffs. I don't think they could beat the Rams. I don't think they could beat the Niners healthy. I don't even think they'd beat the Seahawks, to tell you the truth.
I
So,
mean, can they even beat the Lions in their own division?
oh, they're not beating the Lions for sure. That's not even a thought. So, not in the playoffs, anyways. Like I said, I think they caught the Lions nap in week one. Now, as far as the other side, stop this Josh Allen and the Bills bullshit, please. Just stop it now, please. Because when you tell me a team's gonna go to the Super Bowl 5 years in a row and it don't happen, please don't double down and come back the 6th year and tell me this is the year. Cause bro, you're becoming the boy who cried wolf. There's never gonna be a year. The Bills don't have a Super Bowl team this year. They ask way too much out of their quarterback. He's gonna have it. He's going closer to a Cam Newton career than a Super Bowl contending career because you're gonna run Josh Allen into the ground. And if you think that those wide receivers he has around him is gonna get him to the Super Bowl, you're sadly mistaken. I'd put money on it right now. Neither one of those teams get to the Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Now, I will say this about the Packers receivers, though. I do like what I've seen from Matthew Golden.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they might have hit on that pick.
he's the only one they have that has a chance to be a one. He's just not there yet, but he can be a one. All them other guys is Dobbs probably a good two. I think he could be a good two. Because he has catches a lot of injuries. Everybody else on that team is threes or better. That's
Well,
it.
I thought Christian Watson could be a one, but he can't stay on the field.
I thought he could be two, but the problem with Christian Watson is I wouldn't even trust him as a two because he disappears. Not even an injury problem. I'm talking about when he's in the game, he'll go for like 170, have 250-yard catches, and then 3 weeks in a row have like 12 yards receiving. So he's just too inconsistent, and he has a case of the dropsies too. So
Yeah.
those are the problems.
But my concern with him is just his injuries. Like he's never healthy.
Yeah, I was high on him for a very long time. I think they need to run more offense through Kraft, and for some reason they underutilize him as well.
Yeah, their tight end might be their best receiver.
Yeah.
But for Arizona, I'll say this: they might be one of those teams that just need to blow it up. I mean, honestly, Kyler Murray, I know he's hurt right now, but I mean he's been in the league for 7 years and has done what? And right now, to me, the team the last 2 weeks, the team looks better with Jacoby Brissett than they did with Kyler Murray. I know they lost both games, but just visually they look better with Brissett.
Fought in both of them. And I think we both said this at the beginning of the year. If this wasn't a good year for the Cardinals, we both believe this would be Kyler Murray's last year there. I believe we're past that. I don't think Kyler might already be available for trade right now. You know that I'm not 100%. He might be if somebody really wanted him right now and they needed a quarterback, which There might be a few teams that might jump at that, but he won't be on that team next year, I don't think.
I'm not, yeah, but it's not just him. I just think the whole team. I think they just need to push the reset button and just rebuild. I
Yeah,
know they've been building around Kyler for the last 7, 8 years, and it's not like they haven't put talent around him. But I mean, he's been in the league for 7 years. He's only made the playoffs one time.
yeah,
But yet people talk about him like he's a top 10 quarterback, but he hasn't done anything.
yeah. It's time. It's time. It's time to blow it up. I'd agree with you, but I think they got the perfect bridge quarterback to blow it up with too. I think if they were smart, they try to get one of these teams' hands in the cookie jar right now and sling Kyler Murray right now. That's
Think they have a better chance of somebody wanting to trade for Jacoby Brissett than Kyler Murray because Brissett's cheaper.
I agree. But right now, you can't underestimate the facts of trying to juice the team like the Jets or the Steelers, maybe even the Raiders.
I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray's definitely better than Geno Smith at this point.
This what I'm trying to tell you. You might be able to catch a team like the Jets. They might like Kyler. You know what I'm saying? You might catch a team, um, Minnesota potential. Raiders, Miami. Like there's the Saints. Hold on now. Kyler on the Saints might be kind of fire, honestly. So I feel like if you're the Cardinals, um, I'm calling a few of those teams and just throwing out teasers, saying, look, I'm not saying I'm gonna trade him, but if I was, are you interested?
The only problem about the team trading him is you have to ask yourself if you're the team that's trading for him, is he really worth paying 50 million a year?
Well, that's the thing. If you're the Saints and you're that desperate, and maybe you really don't want to go to the quarterback well, maybe the Raiders don't want to go to the quarterback well next year or something because they got Pete Carroll. Kyle is a severe upgrade over Gino.
Yeah. See, to me though, it depends on how close you think you are. But
Yeah,
if you like to me, the Raiders, Jets, and Saints, those teams they're not close to competing. You might as well just build your team through the draft. Just you
well, I'd
know,
say another one. I'd say another team that's close. Um, the Steelers. Obviously, you're not benching Aaron Rodgers, but if you know this is Aaron Rodgers' last year,
oh
you
yeah, I'll maybe not this year, but I'll take a look at them in the off season as
but
far as
here's
trade.
the thing. Say if what if the Cardinals say we make the trade right now, we'll cover this year. So your money wouldn't kick in till next year anyways.
Yeah, but the only problem though is that you could be having them sitting on the bench.
But he also could be learning the system if it's different from so
That's true.
and remember if Rodgers
And we know him learning shit is a problem. That's why they had to put that in his contract. They
yeah,
had to spend a certain amount of hours studying instead of playing video games.
exactly what I'm trying to say. So might be a good thing to let him study for a little bit, and then worst case if Rodgers ever got hurt, you're protected. But I think there'd be a few teams that might jump at a trade for Kyle that had the price been right.
Yeah, I just think the Cardinals they just need to blow it up. Just hit the reset button and
Yeah,
just start from scratch.
yeah.
Start from scratch.
Outside of I'd say probably. I mean, I'd dump off Connor. I'd get rid of Kyla. They got a lot of shit they could get rid of on defense. The only things I'd probably keep is Benson, um,
McBride.
McBride, Harrison, and I mean, I would just start with them. Try to get a quarterback to go with them.
Well, I will say this though, because you did bring up James Conner.
Yeah,
But yes, ever since he broke his ankle, like this team hasn't really been the same.
yeah,
Now, maybe even if he was healthy, they might still lose these games
yeah,
because we talked about it before. Their two wins were against New Orleans and Carolina, and at the time we thought New Orleans and Carolina were the two worst teams in the league, especially those first two games when Arizona pretty much blew them out. But since then, Arizona's lost five in a row. But maybe losing James Conner has affected their offense because
yeah.
they have no running game right now.
He's also a cancer survivor, so he might just have a certain type of energy that rubs off on them when he's around.
Yeah.
So it definitely could weigh into it. But personally, I think that they was doomed. They was going to be trash anyways this year. I didn't think too much noise.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take much stock in those first two games. I'm looking at the teams that they beat, and I mean, yeah, there were impressive wins, but there were wins against, at the time, bad teams that we thought were bad teams. Obviously, Carolina's stepped it up, but yeah, I think Arizona just needs to tear it all down.
I agree.
All right, so we'll move on to the next game. This game actually surprised me because Dallas whooped that ass.
Yeah.
They beat the Washington Commanders 44-22. The story in this game, though, is Jaden Daniels. He left in the third quarter with a hurt He hurt his hamstring, so now he's questionable for next week. And you just feel bad for him because he just came back from a sprained knee. Now he hurts his hamstring. It's bad enough till he's wearing the knee brace. And he said it before the game. He's not really comfortable with the knee brace. That he actually hates wearing it, but he knows he has to wear it to protect himself. But now he suffers another injury. Jaden Daniels in this game, 12 of 22, not good. 156 yards and one touchdown, no interceptions. Marcus Mariota coming off the bench was terrible. He completed 4 of 10 passes for 63 yards, no touchdowns, but did throw a pick six. And then Jaden Daniels, despite getting hurt, was actually the Commanders' leading rusher. Actually, both quarterbacks were their leading rusher.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels had 8 carries for 35 yards and a touchdown. Mariota had 2 carries for 34 yards. Those are their top two rushers with their two quarterbacks. That's not a recipe for winning. And then their leading receiver was Jalen Lane, 3 catches for 60 yards. For the Cowboys, their number one offense looked good. Dak Prescott, 21 to 30, 21 to 30,
Yeah.
264 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Javante Williams, 19 carries, 160 yards and a touchdown. And then CeeDee Lamb on his day or on his return, 5 catches, 110 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb coming back from injury. The Cowboys look good. The Commanders, they look terrible. They're heading in the wrong direction. But any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it was one of the surprises of the week. A couple of things because obviously the Cowboys were missing Diggs, so I thought that would give the Commanders a chance to make some plays. But then when you look at the counter side of that, McLaurin hasn't played in, I mean, multiple weeks. Debo
Yeah,
missed.
top two receivers are out.
Yeah, so there's no McLaurin, no Debo. Their top wide receiver, I think, is like Chris Moore right now, which used to be like the Texans' fourth wide receiver. So that's not good. Um,
And Luke McCaffrey.
he's not that bad, but he's like they're not giving him enough. Like if you look at,
Yeah, he only had 2 targets today.
let me read something to you. Watch this. I noticed this the other day, and it literally, I don't know. To me, this doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand. So, game one, he didn't do anything, right?
Right.
Now, week two, one target. No, excuse me. Yeah, one target, one catch, 19 yards, right? And he got the 2-point conversion. Week two, 3 targets, 3 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Week 4, 3 targets, 2 catches, 21 yards, and a touchdown. The next week, 2 targets, 1 catch, 50 yards. The next week, 1 target, 1 catch, 33 yards, and a touchdown. Do you hear this? Bro, every time you throw him 2 passes a game, he's either catching a 35-plus yard pass or he's catching a touchdown. Why do you continue giving him 2 passes per game?
Yeah, I think he could be like his dad and be a solid like possession receiver, but you got to give him like targets.
Yeah, like his highest targeted game is 3. 2 games he had 3 targets. Every other game it's 2 targets or 1 target. And if you look at his game, it's 1 catch, 19 yards, a big catch. 3 catches for 56 yards. So you're averaging about 20 a catch. 2 catches the next game for 21. Both of those games have touchdowns. The next game, 1 catch for 50. The next game, 1 catch for 33 and a touchdown. It seems to me like every time you throw to him, he's either making a big play or a touchdown. He needs 7, 8 targets, but that's not for me to decide. It just doesn't make sense to me when I'm reading off these stat lines. And then today he had 2 targets and no catches for the first time. But those, those could be bad targets. We don't know if those is even catchable passes. But the whole point is that he's a guy that should be used. Even if Debo and McLaurin's there, he's just slot guy. Those are slot target numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
don't know why he's not a bona fide starter at this point. Well, and then tonight, where you're missing Debo and McLaurin, how does he still only get 2 targets? That's like unexplainable. You see what I'm saying? So that their offense is pretty rubbish. And Krosky Merritt started off hot. Their run game looks trash. Their pass game looks trash. And we knew Dallas' offense is good. It's just their defense. If Dallas's defense could stop you a few times, they'd win probably every game. It's just their defense can't stop nobody. That's the
yeah,
problem.
they have the worst defense in the league.
But
And
they stop you. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and for Washington today,
Yeah.
your 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 2 leading rushers can't beat both quarterbacks.
So that's the thing. They if the Cowboys defense can play good enough to make stops, at least once in a while, they'll win a lot. They'll win a lot of these games, especially when Washington's missing their 2 top playmakers and their offense looks like a high school one.
Yeah, and I'm surprised too because the offense last year looked better. Cliff Kingsbury coming over from Arizona, being the offensive coordinator, and his offense was so impressive that he got a couple of head coaching interviews this offseason. But right now, his offense just look like you said, looks like a high school offense.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe it's the same play caller. But what's your thoughts on Jaden Daniels getting hurt again?
Um, I hate to say it, but these was the knocks on him for being skinny and being undersized as far as weight and stuff like that. It,
He got away with it last year.
He did. He took a lot of big hits. Some of this could just be lingering, but at the end of the day, he needs that. This way, you need to probably just put on a little bit. You need to get on a little bit more weight. Like chicken legs and injuries in them isn't gonna help. So he needs to get a little bit more muscle mass in those legs. He'll be fine. I also, when you look at him though, you also could tell he didn't start really filling in his weight. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I do believe he will naturally get bigger. Like if you look at LeBron, not say he's gonna get to LeBron's size, but you remember LeBron when he came into the league versus a couple years later. Not when he became huge LeBron, like now, just the transition from being a young adult to being, like a 25, 26-year-old man. So I do think he'll naturally get a little bit bigger, but he needs to throw down some of those cans of chunky soups and throw on the leg weights. You know what I'm saying? And
but
just
the only problem though about him like growing into his body is that he's 25, so he might already stop growing. He's not your typical second year, player. He's not like Caleb Williams, who's only like 23. Because that was the thing about Jaden Daniels is that he was pretty old for a rookie last year. He was 24.
it's true.
So now he's 25. But what sucks for him though is the injuries are on 2 different legs. He sprained his knee on his left leg,
Yeah.
and then today he pulls his hamstring on his right leg.
Yes, because you're compensating on the other leg from what's going on with the other leg. That's why
Yeah.
you pulled the hammy. It's because
He's
he's
compensating for his left knee
yeah,
and ended up pulling his right hammy.
and that's why he shouldn't be in the game. I mean, these are things that the coaches got to watch. If you see that he's not pulling up on his legs right, you got to protect him. You see what I'm saying? Because
And I think that's what the Niners, because we talked about it. Brock Purdy, he came back way too early from that turf toe. He only missed like 2 games,
yeah,
and then he came back, but he looked terrible against Jacksonville. And ever since then, the Niners have just been sitting him out. They just like, okay, we're gonna ride it out with Mac Jones.
mhm.
You just sit there and get your toe right.
Yeah, it's that we don't want you overcompensating for shit that we're paying for in the long run. Like
Yeah,
That's just what it comes down to. So I think Daniels would be fine, but I think he should have stayed off the field a couple of weeks anyways because I'll just put it like this: the Commanders, formerly known as the Redskins, do not have what's the word I'm looking for? Do not have a good report when it comes to quarterbacks with sprained MCLs or sprained knees going back on the field. I mean, we watched them. I know it's the not.
RG3.
Yeah, no, it's not the same play. I'm not the same coaches, but these players have a lot in common. And I remember IG3 coming out with that knee brace. I remember him taking it off, and I remember watching him re-tear everything in a game.
Yeah,
That he
'cause for
shouldn't have.
him, it started out as a sprain,
Yep,
and then the ACL just went out on him.
yep, and,
Nobody even touched him.
yep. And this is what I'm telling you. And you seen it when it happened. Like you literally seen it. You knew it was gonna happen, and it happened. That's like so. With this type of situation, I think Daniel should have been just kept out for a couple of weeks. That's just my opinion. I don't think that I don't know, man. That whole situation is just a little bit too much.
I mean, Mariota, he didn't play well today, but he did play well in those two games that Daniels missed. So I felt like Mariota played well enough where they didn't have to rush him back.
Yeah,
But now it looks like he's gonna miss more time with the hamstring.
yeah. And Mariota probably wasn't ready to play today because he thought Daniels was good to go. And I feel like
Yeah,
backups lie to you. They don't actually prepare to be ready. I seen Michael Vick admit it to us in Pittsburgh. They threw him into a game. Yeah, he looked terrible. Like he never played football before. And at the end of the game, he was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't prepared.
yeah.
Like,
Well, Mariota didn't look prepared because he looked like he never played football today.
yeah, he wasn't ready to play. He didn't need to play in his mind. You know what I'm saying? But that's why they tell you as a backup, you should always prepare to play, so you're prepared. But it's just in the real world, it isn't always like that because 9 out of 10 times you're not going in. So it's like, why do more work when you're not going in? But guess what?
Yeah.
That one time you didn't do that work. The motherfuckers needed you, and you don't know the plays. So it is what it is, man. But I think the Commanders will be all right, even if um, Mariota has to cover for 2 games. I think they'll be a better team with Mariota playing healthy for 2 games versus what they have with Daniels in 1.5 legs.
I mean, right now he doesn't have any legs.
He has
I'm
one.
pretty sure.
He has one.
I'm pretty sure his knee on his left knee. Pretty sure his left knee still messed up. That's why he's wearing the knee brace. And now he hurt his hammy on his other leg.
But here's the thing: you could take the hammy that's not injured with the ankle that's not injured, and you got like one leg. I mean, so he's got about one good leg.
So you got to mix and match him.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know what I mean? But shit's gonna be rough over there for a while. I think that what we're seeing right now is not anything that we haven't seen before, and sometimes this like injuries count. Sometimes the injuries are part of this. We're seeing the sophomore slump right now. Jaden Daniels can't stay on the field, and he doesn't look good when he's on the field. I mean, I'm pretty sure we said the Commanders overachieved last year. This is about
Well, yeah, I know I did because
yeah.
I felt like they won a lot of close games last year, and that's my issue with Tampa this year. Is yeah they've won a lot of close games, but I just feel like it's not sustainable. The Commanders, they looked up and they rode that all the way to the NFC Championship game. But for me, I just didn't think the way they played last year was sustainable. And I know this year they try to do the F them picks and just go all in, but it's just not working. And part of that is because your top two receivers are hurt and your quarterback can't stay healthy now.
And your O-line's not blocking for your running back to get any yard.
Yeah.
So they just don't look good at all. They're probably they're a lot closer to blowing it up than to winning the Super Bowl. You know, and I'm not not
Yeah, and I mean, and that's why I said, like, I felt like last year was kind of a fluke, and I know in their minds they thought they were close, and that's where they went F them picks and try to go all in this year, but I just felt like they weren't as close as they think they were,
They weren't.
and that's why I wasn't 100% sold on all the moves that they made this offseason.
I 1000% agree. I think by next year they'll be letting Debo and a lot of these high paid players that they just paid out go run out the door.
Yeah,
Outside of probably McLaurin, but he'll probably even be available. They don't use him even when he's on the field. I don't even doubt that he's just being held out of games until they can find a trade partner. It's like, other than the fact that you just paid him, but he doesn't have that same like end your salary contract that some of these people have. So maybe they could pull it off. It's like a 3-year deal, I think.
well,
But
and not only that, he's making like close to the same amount as Brandon Ayuk, so it's not like it's a
yeah,
Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson type contract. It's
yeah, and we
a
know I
Brandon Ayuk contract.
and people was willing to trade for you. They just
Yeah,
weren't willing to go past a certain price. So that means that you definitely can move on from that contract. Welcome back, CD Lamb. Their team is going to be dangerous with Pickens, Lamb. Javante Williams is running like a tank over there. I don't know why he's so rejuvenated. I do want to see them use Jadon Blue more because I was big on him in college. I want to see what he can do. And then Ferguson's picking it back up. So I think Dallas gonna have a good chance to fight for this division. They're gonna fight.
their only issue is their defense is terrible.
Yeah, but here's the thing: in a shootout, they might be able to put up more points than the Eagles.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
that,
against the Eagles, yeah,
but
but
I'm trying to tell you. So when it comes to that division, if it's one game and it comes down to it for one of these teams to get in the playoffs, if Dallas puts up 45, I don't know if the Eagles can score 45. Not even on the Dallas defense is all I'm saying. Now, the Eagles cornerbacks, bro, Lamb and Pickens might drop 6, 7 touchdowns on you guys. I know that they got one good corner, right? But every time the other side is a huge mismatch. It means you all right, we'll give you this side. You got to stud two different
today they moved Cooper DeJean to corner.
because they may need to. But here's the thing. As much as I love Cooper DeJean, he's not covering either one of those guys.
No, I was just surprised that they moved him from safety to corner today.
Yeah, but because he's probably the second best corner they got, right? But I just look at it like this: you put your top guy on Lamb. I don't even think their top guy can cover Lamb. But say you do that and I give it to you, Pickens has a mismatch. If your top guy goes on Pickens, Lamb definitely got a mismatch. Now, is your guy traveling or is he just playing one side? Because if he's playing one, I know how to kill the other side. Just throw the ball. You ain't even got to do nothing crazy.
Well, they should have beaten the Eagles in week one if Lamb didn't have to catch the case of the drops.
Yeah, that Lamb cost. But see, in the second game, Lamb might come try to put belt to their ass. Like he threw that first game away. He knows that, right? So I would trust that in a shootout, Dallas can put up more points than it. I don't think in a shootout, tush pushes matter as much when there's points being thrown all over the place. You gotta move the ball. These
I'm just curious to see what Jackson Dart's going to do against their defense.
100%, absolutely. But I guess let's dive into the game in the background. Sunday nighter.
Yeah, so the last game of the day, the Sunday night game, the Niners, despite all the injuries, they still beat the Falcons 20-10.
Yeah,
They improved to 5-2 on the season. They stay atop the NFC West. As we mentioned yesterday during our Week 7 preview, the Niners have the tiebreakers. That's why they're in first place. The
yeah.
Falcons, they dropped to 3-3. And not only did they drop to 3-3, they're now in third place in their division as Carolina's now overtaking them out in the South. Michael Penix Jr. today completed 21 of 38 passes, 241 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. Bijan Robinson had 14 carries for only 40 yards. And then their leading receiver was Kyle Pitts, 7 catches for 62 yards. So this Kyle Pitts had a breakout game.
Penix
And then
is saving
Mac,
his career
yeah.
in
And then
Atlanta.
for Mac, say that again, my bad.
What?
What were you saying?
I said Penix saved Kyle Pitt's career in Atlanta. There's no
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Because
now.
at one point, was he on the trade block?
It was this year. But now you could see he's Penix is number one or two target. It's either London or Pitts. They're not trading him now. You'd be
Uh,
so dumb to trade him now. I think they did decline his 5th-year option though. So
I think they did.
it might be in a situation where you're gonna have to pay him instead of holding on to him.
Well, I mean, they could throw the franchise tag at him.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're fucking themselves with money now because they had him for a 5th-year option and then could have franchise tagged him. Now you talk about franchise tag, he's gonna have to be paid at the top of the market because when you tag him, it's gonna put his money in between the top 2, 3 tight ends. So you're instantly going from what was small change and probably top 25, 30 tight end money to top 5. I don't know if Atlanta'd be willing to pay him that. And then if you're not willing to franchise tag him, you're talking about now you're gonna have to do a contract, right? So for I'd say probably tight ends usually around 8 million. But I'm gonna say just going off of things usually going up, he's probably gonna want somewhere around 4 years at 45 million. Probably 30 guaranteed, 35, something like that. Probably averages out to like 8 million guaranteed each year with chance to go up to like 10 or 12. And right now, if he has a good year now, I don't know if you could say he's worth that. You might have wanted to keep the 5th-year option to see if he could do it twice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because if you have a good year now and I give you $50 million and next year you go back to I want to trade you again, I'm gonna be breaking TVs. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I think they should have just saved that 5th-year option and just used it. I think you should always use it. Even if you end up not wanting the player, you can trade them at a reasonable price. Like that's what I would always do. I would always, unless they're a complete bust, and I think everybody knows that Atlanta was failing Pitts. He would have been worth whatever money you was paying him for a 5th-year option. So say you threw the 5th-year on him and you called the team this year, said, you know what? We're gonna move off of Pitts. Can I have a 6th-rounder? I guarantee you would have got it. So yeah, I just was stupid not to pick up that option, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree. For the 49ers side of things, though, Mac Jones, they said during the telecast he actually broke Steve Young's record for the best um, 5-game start to a season in 49er history.
Yeah.
But he did not play well today, though. He only completed 17 of 26 passes for 152 yards, no touchdowns, did throw one pick. Christian McCaffrey, though, had his best game of this season, 24 carries, 129 yards, two touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey is also their leading receiver with 7 catches for 72 yards. And the Niners, like I said, got the win. Defensively, they played pretty well despite losing Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa obviously tore his ACL in week 2. And then last week, Fred Warner broke his ankle. But both of us picked San Fran to win this game. They won it. So what's your thoughts on this game?
Went about is how I thought it would go. This game, honestly, I went into this game with no thoughts whatsoever. It's a win-win for us. I mean, you just kind of get down to what you wanted to happen. Are you valuing the draft pick because Atlanta lost? Or are you valuing the Niners being one game below us in the division? I don't fear the Niners at all. I'm not worried about that first game fluke that we gave to them. We didn't even show up, right? I don't think in another game they could get us. And I don't think in the long haul of this season that they'll beat more teams than the Rams will beat. I don't care how easy their schedule is. Like some of these games they've already slipped up and thrown them away, right? So I look at it like this. I think the Rams end up with a better record than them. I think that if they need to go head to head again for the division, which they're gonna play each other again anyways, the Rams win that second game and can go up a game on them then, I'm not concerned with that. So
Don't
I
sleep on Seattle. Seattle's also in the mix too.
Yeah, I know, but they play tomorrow. I'm not even worried about them till they get to 5, but I do know they'll be there. I I fear Seattle more than I do San Francisco right now. I think
Oh
Seattle.
yeah, I do too. Mainly because speaking of not being sustainable, I don't know what the Niners are doing right now sustainable with all those injuries. I mean, you did make a point yesterday that at least offensively they could be getting some guys back,
Yeah,
but still, though, I mean, at some point you got to think those injuries are going to catch up to them.
100%. But I'll tell you this: I wholeheartedly went into this game wanting the Niners to win. Me personally, because
Yeah,
that draft pick is more important to me right now. Think the Rams is good. They'll be in the playoffs. I don't care if they get first place in the division. Really, none of that stuff bothers me. We don't really get too many home games, anyways. If you smell my drift, right?
yeah,
So
unfortunately,
yeah, so I don't care about that. The best team come play the best, you could win. So I wanted the Niners to win, so the Falcons can 4 wins. What do y'all do with that 4 wins out of 6? I didn't even know they had 3. I'm already mad. It's like so that was my thing. Falcons got 3 wins. Come on, Niners, y'all got this, right? Like that was my opinion. Now I know some people was on the other side of that, but I think they'll be thanking me for thinking like this when the draft come around next year. You see what I'm saying? And there's a top corner there. Thank you, Atlanta. Thank, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? But the game went when I expected. The Falcons may have played. I don't. They're one of the most unpredictable teams. Sometimes they look good. Sometimes they look bad.
yeah,
Today
they're way too inconsistent.
Today was in between. The Niners looked bad. They looked like a good team today that played bad. We kind of know what they are. You know, I just don't think that they're better than the Rams, especially not with Adams the way he's him and this game with Puka not being there was a blessing because I feel like Stafford's rapport with Adams had to step up. They might be on the same page now. They got Mumfield in, they got Ferguson in. I don't know why they're like Whittington is not getting love. Like I really don't understand that. But or Tutu, but I know Whittington's pretty secure as far as safe with his job. He's not expensive, but the Rams overall is just better than them, and I rooted for the draft pick. One thing I do want to ask you, right, as far as the players, couple things. First thing, does Mac Jones give this job back?
If he plays like he did today, yes. But overall, the way he's been playing, we talked about it yesterday. He's so far having the best year of his career
Yeah,
through the first. Well, this is his fifth start, so his first 4 starts. But he was having the best year of his career, and then today he was able to break Steve Young's record
yeah.
for the best first 5 games of the season for a Niners quarterback. So I mean, anytime you could break Steve Young's record, you're doing something good. So I mean, he didn't play well today, but I think there's going to be a quarterback controversy because we all know the story. Mac Jones is the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan wanted
Yeah.
from jump, and so he finally got his guy, and we're seeing what he's able to do with Mac Jones. Mac Jones looks way better with the Niners than he ever did with New England.
Yeah. The only one thing I would say about the Niners today that if I was a Niners fan would have drove me nuts, you can't play any George Kittle not a catch. Like that's like you might as well not play. Like he's the highest paid tight end in the league. That
Chris Collinsworth was like just slobbing all over him about how great he is in run blocking.
it's like people telling me how good of a pass protector Kyrie Williams is. I
Yeah,
don't care. He's a running back. He's not a pass protecting back. He's a running back. But like
yeah.
yeah,
George Kittle's a tight end, not a offensive lineman.
yeah. And one other thing, Kendrick Bourne came down to reality: 2 catches for 14 yards. I mean, now you don't know where he's at. 2 games at 142, and then 12. Damn, you start him in fantasy. It's like I might get nothing. I might get pure gold. There's not even like a
No, today was all about Christian McCaffrey. He led the team in rushing and receiving.
yeah.
He had 124 yards rushing and 72 yards receiving.
No. the second question I have for you, because I need to know if this is me. I'm gonna point out one play, and I've seen numerous plays, not too many this week in the run game, but you seen the screen pass to Bijan Robinson, he scored, right?
Yeah.
Does he remind you of Todd Gurley?
Yeah, a little bit. I know during the game they're comparing him to LaDainian Tomlinson, but I do see Todd Gurley in there.
No, I don't see LaDainian Tomlinson in him at all. Like LaDainian Tomlinson is he's one of the best running backs of all time, but he's that like that I don't know, man. That lateral movement stuff, like with how Gurley and certain people could just instantly go from 0 to 100. Nah, bro. Like it's not the same. Like obviously LT had the better career, but had Todd Gurley lasted as long as LT, it wouldn't be a debate. You see what I'm saying? Like Todd
Yeah.
Gurley was far superior as far as what he had. What he was born with, it just was better than LT's. You see what I'm saying? He just didn't make it long enough. And unfortunately broke, you know, knee ligaments, snapped his knee in half in college. He went through a lot. They didn't even think he'd get to the NFL. But Bijan Robinson, the reason why I bring that up, it just when he gets going in those screens and when he's like going up the sideline, he just reminds me of Todd. It's special. It's not like you're not seeing that in other running backs. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs a little bit. There's a few of them that have it, but I think Bijan Robinson just the eye test to it just reminds me of Todd Gurley. I don't know. He might be pound for pound the best running back in the NFL, or at least most special has the most special traits as far as in any other in the NFL.
No, I agree. And I think give him about 3-4 years, he will be saying he's the best running back in the NFL.
Yeah, I think I'll take it like next year. But the thing is this: if I'm Atlanta, obviously we know they got to do this things they got to do there. O line a little bit, defense for sure. Um, Probably a couple more wide receivers for depth, whatever. But if you're looking at their team and you have Michael Penix, Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Drake London, that's four pivotal pieces on offense that you have a bona fide one at. Running back is like top 3 right now, at least. Wide receiver, he's at least got to be a top 15 guy, right? Tight end, the way he is with Penix, I mean, we thought he was going to be the best tight end when he hit the league, right? It just didn't happen.
Right.
With Penix, he got potential to be a top 5 guy. And
That's
Penix,
I'll say this stuff. For most of his career, he was playing with Desmond Ritter. That's why.
yeah, for sure. And he probably wasn't motivated to play or run routes. He knew what AJ Green was. Excuse me, AJ Brown was going through before AJ Brown was going through it.
Yeah.
He just wasn't saying nothing. Like he feels you though. He's over there like, yo, AJ, I feel you, bro. He's like, yo, they're trying to slam my head on the locker doors. I'm just not telling nobody, But basically, to make a long story short, if Penix can live up to who he's supposed to be, and I do believe he was the best quarterback coming out that draft, still to be determined. But those core 4 pieces is enough for you to start on. You can let everything else go. Just
Who do you think has the better future, Giants or Falcons?
I gotta say Giants because the defense. It's like so you go 1 for 1. Neighbors or London. I guess take your pick. I'd probably go Neighbors. Maybe not now after the injury, but I think Neighbors is the better talent.
I'll go with Neighbors.
Tight end is definitely Pitts. I think, even though they got a couple people and they got Theo starting to look,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Theo, I like his connection with Dart.
yeah.
Theo Johnson did not play like that with Russell Wilson,
Now,
but Kyle Pitts is still a better player though.
now you go. Everybody's gonna be John over Scatterbo.
Yeah.
How good Scat's at, but I think I'm taking Dot over Penix. Like so, but so you can lean with the quarterback or all the skill players. I think are better in Atlanta. Now, it comes down to the quarterback. If Dot is landslides above Penix, say 2-3 years from now, the Giants will be in a better position. If the quarterbacks play the same, Atlanta got the better team. They got
I'm giving the Giants the edge because of that front four that they have.
no. That's defense. See, that's you got don't now. Defense is a whole nother story, right? And that's why I said it kind of comes down to the quarterbacks because if you take the quarterbacks out the equation, Giants have the better defense by a landslide, especially when it comes to young core pieces, right?
Mhm.
Offense, Atlanta has all the best young pieces, right? Now, when you bring the quarterback in, if Dot ends up being the better quarterback, Dot with the defense is going to be the winner because it's not that you don't got Scatterbo and Neighbors and Theo. It's that offense just had better pieces. But if you had the better quarterback and the better defense, I think that trumps the better running back, better tight end. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think if you got to go with one now, I think Dot looks better, and I think the Giants core piece on defense and Davis, Scatterbo, and Theo are good. So I would lean towards the Giants. Falcons haven't proved they could play defense.
Yeah. And I agree with you there.
Anything else you want to throw out for this game?
Nah, I mean, it is what it is. The Niners won. We both picked the Niners to win this game, so neither one of us are surprised.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey balled out, and yeah, it helps the Rams draft picks. But the Falcons, like I said, they're just way too inconsistent. They look good one week, and then the next week they look terrible. And I don't know who they play next week, but I'm pretty sure they're probably going to win.
Yeah.
That's the way they've gone this season. They win, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
Yeah, we need them to go. We need them to go on a losing streak bad, bro. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Hate to throw it on them, but we need them to go on a losing streak. Two quick questions though. We already picked the game, so and people could go back to the last video if you want to see that. It's right under this one. But game of the week, you think is gonna? I know as of now that the Denver game.
Yeah, Giants, Broncos.
Do you think Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay and Detroit can top that tomorrow night?
They have a chance, even though yesterday you picked Detroit to win in a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
But so we'll see. But I think they have a chance.
Yeah, I still believe the Lions blow them out. I think it's at least a 2-touchdown win. I don't mean a 45-7 trolloping or what the Rams did to the Jags, but I do believe Detroit will get them by a couple of touchdowns.
Well, you have them covering the 6 points.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is this. Tampa Bay's overachieved a little bit this year. They got lucky at the end of a lot of games, and Detroit's coming in there mad. Like they're coming into this game mad, and they're better than you. So I don't think that they give you a chance to come back at the end of the game because I think you're down by too much. Probably be down by 17 with 4 minutes left, get a touchdown in, maybe get it to like a 9-point lead. But I don't think there's going to be no coming back in this game. I don't think that Jared Goff gives them a chance to. And I think Jared Goff keeps little chips on his shoulders. Like, for example, when he knows that he's done more than Baker Mayfield and he gets the shit end of the stick, and right now Baker's just the talk of the town. I think Goff's gonna make sure he proves a point on the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, Goff has the better numbers, but nobody's talking about him for MVP. All the talk right now is on
No?
Baker and Mahomes.
He don't get no respect, bro. Like Goff is like the most disrespected quarterback in the NFL. Like I don't know why somebody don't just come out and say that. Like there should be somebody on Sports Center coming out like, why does everybody hate Jared Goff? Show me the guy you like's numbers beside his.
Yeah, his Goff's gonna be better.
Yeah, put them side by side and explain. It just explain to me. But they never do that. They would never show you Goff stats next to somebody else's because their narrative is he's bad. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, the narrative is, oh, he can't win without Sean McVay. He proved that wrong. Now the narrative is he can't win without Ben Johnson, but he's been winning. So now people just quiet. They have nothing to say now.
Well, don't worry. When that OC leaves next year, they'll be saying he can't win without him. It's like if Dan Campbell retired, he can't win without him. It's like, bro, you don't get to say that 5 times. It's like once you try
How many coaches you got to go through before you start giving them respect?
once you said that once and he proved you wrong once, it was time to chill. After you did it twice and 3 times, it's like, bro, really? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? But hey, off of that, right? I want to make sure I let everybody know. Use the QR code. Get over to W Energy. Use the code Mob Squad 508. It will give you 10% off all W purchase. Excuse me, all W orders. Basically, all your purchases, not just one. It also helps us get more content out to you, and it will help you get through your day. It's a great supply or a great energy source when you got to get out, go to work, or go for your daily jog, whatever it is that you need to do. And on top of that, let them know where to find us, bro.
Well, you can subscribe, like and subscribe us to us on YouTube. You can also follow us on YouTube, and you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and yeah, just keep supporting us, keep liking us, and we'll pump out more content for you.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow us both on Twitter, the hashtag are below, and subscribe, comment, smash the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of the YouTube, it's Mike and Ant Sports Talk at Mike and Ant Sports Talk on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that. Smash the thumbs up on every video, even the old ones. Help us get in the algorithm. But off of that, do you have anything else you want to say before we get up out of here, bro?
No, that's it.
Oh, I got work in 3 hours, man. It's gonna be a long. I'm working today 6 to 6.
Oh shit, a
So
12-hour one.
yeah, sheesh. But I'm gonna get through, and we'll chop it up tomorrow. I'll be home before I did that so I could be home for the games, and we'll make sure we jump. I don't know if we're gonna be able to jump on after because one game.
Yeah, you got the East Coast game with the Lions and Bucks, and then you have the West Coast game
But
with Houston and Seattle.
yeah, well, we might want to try something different. Maybe at the end of the first game, drop something on that quick, release it, and do a quick little watch along for the second game. Maybe
Yeah,
that way,
we try that.
yeah, we could try it out, see what we could do with that. But with that being said, everyone, make sure you have a great night. If your team won, tag me on Twitter. Let us know you had a good victory on Sunday, and let us know that on Victory Monday, so we can give you a shout out. And good luck watching tomorrow's game. I'm out of here, bro.
All right, peace.
Yes,
We'll do
sir.
some